Okay, welcome everybody to the Thursday Night Forum. Thanks for joining me tonight, and Stan and Gary. Maybe Lonnie's going to come in. Maybe Tony will join us. And by the way, happy birthday to Tony. Tony's birthday was yesterday,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Yeah. So I got a storm going on around me. So hopefully I don't get hit by lightning or something crazy like that's going to happen to me. So other than that, I'm. Go ahead, Stan.
You say welcome everybody, but you didn't put a tweet out.
I didn't what?
Put a tweet out.
I did.
Did you? I didn't see one tweet.
I put one out to say it's live, so hopefully that went through.
I put one out a few minutes ago. So.
Oh, I see it now.
Late, but I got there. You know, a little bit like Declan Rice. Declan Rice in the 6th minute of added time. A little bit like Eddie Nketiah in the 91st minute in January. So, yeah. Welcome, Stan.
Hello.
I don't know about you, but I've had a short week here, but it's felt like a long week. Labor Day weekend takes one working day away, but they seem to make you want to make up for it in those 4 days. Gary might be able to attest to that.
Yeah, we've got one more day left, haven't we, to get to the end of the week. It feels like I've been working 6 days.
Yeah, but nevertheless, I'm in the glow of that defeat over Manchester United on Sunday. Beautiful, beautiful thing. And Manchester United fans, whenever they start getting above their stations, is always nice to get one over on them. You know. Yeah. Gary, welcome.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you're right about the getting Monday off is cool, and it's been really hot, and I've had to go in the office a couple of days, and but it means it gets to the weekend faster, right? It's already Friday, which is like payday for some. So, yeah, so it's good. It's good.
Thursday Night Forum, post Man United glow. So. Who wants to say something about that win on Sunday first? Who wants to go first, gentlemen?
Gary?
Well, it's as some say, our biggest rival. We need to beat them at home because it's going to be tough when we go on the road. We got the points, so that's all I'm going to say that much. We got the 3 points, but we made it really, really tough on ourselves. Really, really tough on ourselves. I think we're better than that, especially at this point in the season and with who we have. I mean, they're out players, we're out players, so I think that's a wash in terms of who was missing and who was there. We've been playing much better, so I expected us to control this game have a lot more control of this game sooner, and we did not. We could have lost it at the end. It got far, helped us out. So yeah, no, we'll take the 3 points. I'm going to say that, and we still have a lot to work on.
Yeah, it was a crazy game, Stan, right?
I mean, as much as Tottenham are considered Arsenal's rival, I think for a lot of Arsenal fans who lived through that era in the 90s where we were always battling it out to try and pick them to lift the Premier League trophy, a lot of us consider Man United equally as much of a rival as well. I know I do. The amount of league titles that we could have won if there was no such thing as Manchester United. If they'd never existed, we could have finished first so many times. So I always like turning them over. I enjoy it.
Yeah, always nice. Yeah, we have that local rivalry with Tottenham, with that team, as Gary calls them. But maybe in recent years we haven't been as good in that as them in the league. But we've been historically better than them for the best part of 25, 30 years, if even beyond that. So I totally get what you're saying, Stan. I don't really see Tottenham as that team who consistently are our rivals.
Do you not think, though, that over the years with Manchester United, it's been a little bit equal in the sense that we usually do very well against them at home. They usually do very well against us at home. But lately, in the last season or so, we've started to edge it, haven't we? We've started to be able to notch up 2 wins over them in the league.
Now, do you feel that way? Because the last 2 times we played them in the league, it has been home games, and we've won both of them this calendar year.
But we have beaten them away, haven't we?
Not last season. We got beaten by them 3-1 last season. We have beaten them, I think, a few years ago when we had Thomas Partey penalty. Was it a Thomas Partey? It was a penalty.
I think it was a
Maybe
Bamiyang, right?
a Bamiyang penalty. Yeah. So I think that was the last time we beat them away from home. Obviously, we played really well against them at home, but to turn them over at their place would be the next step, you know.
Yeah, go on, I'll let Gary talk because I've got the building site hasn't finished work yet, and I keep drilling.
It's the last 20 minutes before knockoff.
That's true. That's true. So what were we talking about? Anything else?
Look, Gary, it was just a crazy game, and I suppose after a few days, I'm enjoying the win. But now thinking back about it, a lot of things happened. Everything happened in this game. We could have won it. We won it.
Yes.
We could have lost it. Right?
Yes. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that's why I say we're much better than that. I think we are much better than that. I think we did not play well on, and once again, there's always a stat, right? Now, the last stat was we give up goals in the first minute, right? And then the other stat is we give up a goal on the first on target shot, right? And we've done that multiple times now. So I think we're still not, how would you say, alert or engaged, because teams can score on us early. That we seem to remedy that in one game, so it's still hovering over our head. And now, whenever they get an opportunity to score, it sounds like they're just going to score. But you look at that. You can look at it multiple ways. Teams that finally get a chance to score, they have to be perfect to get it. Everything has to be perfect. Either the defense has to let up, or the shot has to be perfect. And that's kind of what's been happening. And if you look at a lot of the goals we've given up, I mean, we've made mistakes, and the goals have just been kind of crazy, some of them. So yeah, I think for me, it's more of our offense, because I think we should be ahead more in these games. We should be getting to that second and third goal sooner. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
We should be getting the first goal, because I think we are better. So we need to start faster. Kind of started a little bit slow at home. You thought after the last game we were going to start a lot faster at home. We did not. And we kind of fell asleep. Like we seem to always fall asleep, and we don't seem to be engaged for a full 90. We played for 90 this time, but we kind of let up just in the wrong time. So we need to be fully engaged. But I think we need to use our bench a little bit more. We need to rotate a little bit more and give play, and not get into situations where we can just be got once in a while. I think we have a decent number of players that can start for us, and I think they should start for us. We need to be in a situation where we can play. We should be playing more players or starting more players. I believe we should be able to do that. And I guess we'll get into the Havertz thing and how that may affect kind of what we're seeing, because certain players seem to be getting minimal minutes and showing why they should be getting more minutes. But so far it's been working. I think 10 out of 12 is good, but I think I don't think we should be in a situation where we're giving up points when we don't have to, because we have the numbers in certain areas to help support being perfect right now. I think we have enough players to do that. So I kind of feel, it's 10 out of 12 is good, but there's no reason why we shouldn't have won at home. We should have won at home. So
against Fulham.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, that game should have not. We should have got either the third goal, or they definitely should have not got the second goal on us. Pick one, whichever one you want to pick. But we're better. I think we're better than that. We are definitely a 3-goal team on anyone. So we finally hit the 3 goals. It took 98 minutes to do it. But I think I
think it hit 100 minutes.
It hit 100 minutes, but I think we can score 3 goals in anyone, especially Manchester United team who's down 2 defenders. On the back line, I kind of felt like that's where you look at that game. You go, we have to take advantage, just like other teams do. Look at all the goals we've given up. All of those they're not going to get that every game and all the time, right? But when they do, they seem to hit. Well, we need to do the same thing and take advantage of whatever the other team gives us. And if that's players down and injured, we should take advantage. So yeah, lots. I don't know if I just rambled on and just
No,
unloaded
but
everything I had, but
some of the things have given me cause to say some things that you've said, and some of the things that you've said, I'm sure, will ignite Stan to have some things to say as well. So,
yeah. I
no,
would like to
very
say hello
good.
to everybody in the chat before I forget. Stephen, Big Gunner, Riddy. I don't know if I missed anybody, but
Thank you for
thanks for
being
joining
here,
us this
everybody.
evening.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, exactly, Stan. It's really great as an Arsenal fan to be sitting back here in the glow of 3 points, knowing we could have played better. We could have scored those goals quicker, as Gary's saying. We could have scored 3 goals quicker. It could have been a more clear-cut win. But look at the flip side. Manchester United fans do not know what they have in that team. Did they play well, or were they dog poor and we just overcame them in the end, Stan?
I mean, let's have it right. Manchester United, they're a bunch of shitbags. They always have been for me. They really are. They get this geezer over from Holland who's supposed to be like a tactical genius. And for me, the way that I've watched them play under Ten Hag, it just looks very bland to me.
Yeah.
Extremely bland. I mean, the geezer looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin if you ordered him off of Wish.com. I mean, the state of him. I mean, they are the gift that just keeps on giving as well. Imagine being a Man United supporter playing against Arsenal and you see yourselves with a centre-back pairing, you're trying to win a game of Slabhead Maguire and old man Johnny Evans. I mean, as if you were a Man United fan, surely you would be like vexed about that, about finding yourself in that situation. You know, and no one gives them the same energy, do they, about the amount of money they have wasted on players is just obscene. The list is endless, isn't it? You've got Paul Pogba in there that cost them well over 80 million. A guy that they let go, they already had in their stable, let go and had to buy back for that amount. Anthony, I ain't seen nothing there. That was another 80 million odd pounds or euros. Jadon Sancho can't get in the team anymore. He's fallen out with the manager. The manager's fallen out with him. Looks like he's probably never going to play for United again and probably have to go out on loan and find a new home. Another player that's about, 80 million. Anthony Martial, he was like 55 million. Geezer even had a clause inserted into his contract from the selling team that Man United would have to pay them more, and it's the kicker, if Anthony ever won the Ballon d'Or. I mean, that's just like saying like if he can like find life on the moon. Do you know what I mean? Like intelligent life forms on the moon.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, you know, how's he going to do that? So they don't get the same energy. But when it's Arsenal, do you know what I mean? We're under a microscope by everybody. Everyone's talking about Kai Havertz, and to a degree, rightly so. But if you lay that out next to Man United and the spending that they've done and the fall of them since Alex Ferguson left, as somebody said in the box, the chat box, they're in complete shambles on and off the pitch.
Yeah.
Are they selling the club? Are they not selling the club? Do you know what I mean? The club is worth on the stock exchange at around about 3 billion. They turned down 6 billion from Saudi Arabia or somewhere out that way.
I think they want 6. Yeah.
They were offered, but they're saying that they want to hold out for 10. It's only worth 3. I mean,
the Saudi tax.
You know, listening to all the things you just said.
I'd love one of their calculators. That's what I want. I want one of their calculators to work out my wages every month.
Yeah. Now, listening to what you just had to say even doubles down on what I was saying in terms of why are we struggling to get ahead of this team in 90 minutes? Right? Like what? Like we are a finely tuned machine. We bust a tire, we bring another one in, right? Engine blows, we bring another one in. We have answers pretty much everywhere. We don't have a lot of answers, but we have answers for a lot of things that we need to do. So they don't. When you're bringing in Evans and Maguire as a means to close out a game, I don't know if that was for a win or if that was for a draw, because it wasn't for a win, right? And so when they're doing that, like for us, think about it. If we're bringing on Mustafi and Cedric to close out a game, are you like, I think we got this point in the bag, right?
Yeah.
No, we wouldn't be thinking that based on the history and the players. So I kind of feel like once you're just, I think you're just adding on more to my pile. Thanks, Stan. That we are better than we played. And anybody that says, well, we should have got the 3 points. No, you're lucky you even had a chance to get a point. You know what I
We
mean?
hurt ourselves, didn't we, with that first goal? We kind of helped create that first goal by our own mistakes. We let them in. You know, the one with Garnacho, although it looked like a great goal and a great one-on-one finish, the goal was offside. And that was down to us and the way that our centre-back pairing managed that offside call with the old, was it Gabriel doing the old Matrix thing with his body? He was in the Matrix.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, we should pat ourselves on the back in some areas, but also, you know, when we let them in with the goal. Good goal by Rashford, but we helped it on its way.
Yeah, the kind of goal that we knew you could see it happening, the way Rashford was controlling that left wing, shaping, went inside, and we had two players, Ben White and Saliba, shadowing him. Even all of that being said, Ramsdale got hands to it, but not enough to keep it out. And, you know, Rashford is the one quality player that they probably have in their team. You know, we would probably take a Rashford at Arsenal.
You know, people have been saying that Ben White's been struggling, and I think that play symbolizes it because he has Saliba behind him, so he doesn't have to worry about getting beat whichever way he decides to go. But as many people have said, you cannot let him get onto his right foot. You cannot let him get onto his right foot, and Ben White basically was making sure that he wouldn't get onto his left foot. So he said, "Thank you."
Wasn't it Saliba that was chasing him as well? Saliba was chasing him down.
Saliba's right behind him. So
inside of him.
If he just attacks him, either one, he'll slow down, or two, he'll have to come back onto his left, weaker, and Saliba's there.
Yeah.
So either that's communication because they both were moving in union, and all they did was just basically give him a window. Nobody slowed him up, so nothing changed. He just got whatever he wanted. And
you got to give the player a bit of his due, though, isn't it? He is a good player. You know, it'd be the same if it was probably Saka and it's their defenders, and they're going, they could have done this, they could have done that.
They don't do that to Saka, though. Nobody does. Nobody does Saka.
They just kick him.
I'll tell you what, the best goal scorers in the league know exactly what they're going to do before they even do it.
That's why I want Saka to put his head down and just put his foot through the ball.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about
a couple who joined us. Sorry, Bargraf, Moss has joined us, Don Juan, and also Fran has joined us as well. Welcome all.
Yeah. So Galazzo, right? Galazzo, is that what Fran? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Galazzo. Yep. The best goal scorers, the best goal scorers in the league know exactly what they're going to do, and I'll include Gabriel Jesus and his winner.
It's like Robin used to do it all the time. Everyone knew what he was going to do, but you couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
That's why I always wonder when people go, you can't just telegraph what you're going to do. I'm like, why not? If you're the better team, then it doesn't matter. Like everybody knew Jesus was gonna kill somebody on that attack, right? Somebody was dying. Either it was Anana or somebody else. Turned out to be somebody else.
I want to see
somebody was going down, as they say, Timber. Somebody was going down. When he was sitting there in the middle, when he split the defenders, it was like, all right, who wants some of this?
I want to see some more photoshops of that. I want to see a fishing line grabbing Dallow's legs and reeling them in. Or I want to see a big giant magnet in the crowd and Dallow's feet being attracted to the magnet. He's sliding and he just keeps on sliding.
I've seen Dallo in space. I've seen him beating Max Verstappen in Formula One. I've seen him doing loads of stuff.
I've seen him on a bed snoozing as well. You know what I mean?
So, like, if anybody was wondering if that extra surgery was because his knee's not feeling bad, his knee's not good.
Yeah.
Just take a look at that goal.
Yeah.
Let's
get through.
He had full control of everything that was going on in that situation.
Steven said a great 3 points, a great win, but not a great performance considering their backline, and probably the one and only time we'll see Harry Maguire and Evans together in that lineup this season.
I hope not. I'd like to see him every week, please.
Maybe Ten Hag will make that wish for you. I've always hated United more than Spurs, says Riddy. On and off the pitch, they're absolute shambles. And look, I thought some United fans think they played really well. They played up to our level. maybe as Gary said, we played a little bit down to their level as well.
we made them look good.
We did not. They did not play up to our level.
We made them look
They
good.
played.
You're trying to be not. 1 minute you're telling us they're the biggest rival. Now you're telling us they actually played to our level.
They played a little bit better. You know what I mean?
No. We made them look good.
Stop.
You know how many times have we played a team and then like City will play them the next week and you're like, okay, they're not that good. We were just not good that day. You know, like I mean, I think we're closer to City than we are to a lot of the teams at the bottom of the table. So when we struggle against those bottom dwelling teams, it's not a good sign.
Bottom feeders.
Yes, exactly.
Already said also this tinkering with the lineup has to stop if we want consistent results.
I'm going to say mad scientist is just trying to make sure he has the number. He has an answer for late in the season when he might not have a full squad because of injuries and suspensions and whatever else might go on with this team. I'm gonna try to play his lawyer because that's the only thing that makes any sense is that he's planning for the worst, which is the end of the season collapse. And he's like, you know what? Can I play Partey as a right back in April against Liverpool?
But the football gods were watching that, and the football gods were watching and they were like, you know what, Partey, and they were just like, no, you're not doing that anymore. They stepped in again. Happy accident.
Hopefully, it's a minor injury, and I'll take all the happy.
You know what? To me, it's the same thing like Timber. Like you're playing with fire. A player goes down the way he did in the first half, just pull him. It's all right. It's the first game of the season. No need to play him again. Yeah. Playing Partey out of position, asking him to play extra, put an extra mileage on the legs. Not a good sign when you're trying to prolong. You're trying to get him to the 30th game of the season where he's not sitting on the top of the trainer's table, right? Mm-hmm. That's what we're trying to do. And what we do is no. You can do extra this time around to start off the season. 3 games in a row, bang, 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 bang. Before the fourth game, he gets injured in practice. Mm-hmm. It's not injury in practice. It's from the games. It's from the games. At least I believe it's from the games. It's not. It's just, you know what? You just wear a body down. Guess what? It's not going to work. That's why we needed to rotate him anyways and get him to the end of the season. And now we've already failed that. We've already failed it.
I mean, as much as I love Thomas Partey, he just, you literally have to wrap him in the Turin shroud after every match. It's just, you can't rely on this guy, and it's a shame because he brings so much when he's on his game. You can't deny that. Yes. But if you can't rely on him, a little bit like Tierney, I think that we've got a couple. I think we've got 3 in our team now that are like this. I think Partey, I think Tomiyasu, and I think also Zinchenko are players that you really have to understand how to manage them throughout the season.
I think Partey, in some games, Partey can be much better than Declan Rice, but I think Declan Rice will be consistently good for us for more games this season.
As somebody said, would you want somebody who's going to give you 50% of the games at their best, or somebody's going to give you 80, 90, 80% at just a little bit less, right? Because that's what you're asking Declan Rice to try to play like Partey, but guess what? He'll be on the pitch.
Yeah,
he'll be on the pitch
every game.
So he's only going to get better with that, and that's why I was like, you can't. What we did was we just screwed up that whole thing. If either Rice is the 6, Partey's the 6. That's it. All right.
Steven wants me to think that maybe City are going to get more than 90 points. 90 points is the benchmark that I'm setting this percentage off of. I'd like to hit that percentage after.
Did we get last season, right? You're the numbers guy.
84. Okay. 84 points, was it? I'll show you now. I do have it here.
It's mad when you say that you're looking for 90 points, games. And we got 84. And you look back at that season, and you can easily see where we could have made up those points easily. There was nowhere where you're like,
we dropped points in 6 of 9 games to finish off that season. We dropped 15 points in the last 9 games of that season. 15. Yeah. 15.
So we won 26.
And we had leads in 3 of them. We had chances to take a lead. We had a lead in 2, had a chance to take a lead in a 3rd, and then we played Forest, Brighton, and who else did we lose to late in the season? Because it was City, so I guess that's probably like, all right. I guess you know what? If we lose to City, that's probably okay. But Forest and Brighton, we can't lose to them when we're
Brighton and
trying to go
Forest
for a championship.
Win those we win those games against Forest and Brighton at home and away. We put City in the situation where they need to beat Brighton. And
as I told you, if we won the 3 games going into the City match, then what? Then how will that City game play out?
Yeah,
I'm looking at what you just had up previously on the screen there, the previous on the bottom with the 6 losses, and it just always reminds me. I always remember hearing an interview with Arsene Wenger, and I know maybe numbers changed since his era to now, but I always remember him saying that if you lose 7 games, that's it, you can't win the league.
Yeah.
That was his thing. If you lose 7 games, there's no way that you can make up the shortfall.
Now I'm going to say if you lose 5, I'm going to say if you lose 5 games now, Stan, there's no way you can win the league.
Not with this City team, because they're not.
They demand.
Think about it. They're missing what? They're missing Mahrez, Gundogan. Who else are they missing? But just those 2 numbers. There's 2 players right there. One comes off the bench is instant goals, and the other one was one of their best players last year, and they don't look like they've missed a beat. That's why this Havertz deal makes absolutely no sense. We can't take step back, and we did that. We needed to you need to bring in a player that makes you better, not one that you hope and pray makes you better.
Mm-hmm.
Stan the legend. There you go. Not Stan the man. Man, he's not a man. He's a legend.
I'm a legend in my own lunch hour. My own lunch hour.
How long is your lunch? Like 15 minutes or like 20? What is it?
Half hour.
Gary's the man with the plan. There you go.
I don't know about that.
Or maybe that's Stan, the man from
I think Stan with the plan.
No, it just goes on and on. The man with the plan.
Tony's not here, so they got to give the love to someone else, right? So
yeah, there you go. And Stan's getting the love. They rolled the dice.
Tony's
you roll the
Tony's
dice. Roll the wheel of fortune.
They put a hand in the bag, and my name came out. Do you know what I mean? It was simple as that.
Yeah, look, it's done once. I just don't let Rashford cut inside, and he's done that here.
Well, you know what?
Get those
isn't
goals.
that like in the don't you like when you go through? All right, we're playing Manchester United this week. Rashford, if you let him get on his right foot, he's probably going to punish you. Isn't that like the only thing you say? Because who else is going to punish you on that team? Garnacho coming off the bench is going to hurt you probably. Those are everybody knew that going into this game, right? Well, who else was going to punish you? Onana might make a very long pass, so make it difficult for him to punish you. I mean, what else?
I'd say one of Ten Hag's biggest mistakes. You just reminded me. Again, with the decision that he makes, I think they sold one of the best players they had in their squad, and that was Elanga. I thought he was a really good player. And if you remember when he came on and he damaged us, you remember before the game? Yep. In the show before that, I said they've got a player on their team that could damage us. He come off the bench, boom, and he's been playing very well for Nottingham Forest, and I think they should have kept him.
And he got the goal against Chelsea at the weekend as well. Bargav said, "Don't know if I'm wrong, but for the biggest games, only care about winning, irrespective of performance. Love the stellar 10 minutes that ripped the heart out of Man United."
I am a performance man. I'll take performance over results because you can't guarantee results just by being lucky like we were against. We may not get that VAR call in another time, but you know what? You can build on performance. No, I don't. I said, I want performance.
Crystal Palace was scruffy.
I can look at a performance. And go, guess what? Yeah, but you know what? When your performance is consistent, they have to do crazy things to beat you. Not all right. We're gonna screw this up at some point and give them an opportunity to score.
I think there's a place for both. I think you can, if you play well and are consistent, like Gary's saying, you're going to get some ugly wins along the way because
if that was City,
Palace was an ugly win.
Yeah. No, think about it. If that was City,
defending, kicking the ball out. Yeah. I like that bit of that.
No, but think about it. If that was City, if that was City against Manchester United and the game played out the exact same way, would people be saying the same things? I don't think so. There we go. And that's just how City played. Guess what? You had an opportunity to pull it away. VAR took it back.
When-
City pounced on it
Yeah.
and left you alone, right? That's what we'll say, right?
I
think
don't know.
what
I
we're
just
gonna
think,
see-
you know, when Man United were on top, you know, when the wheel was in their favour and they were winning the league a lot, you could look back in that season of some of it, and there would be some ugly wins in there. You know, where you could think to yourself, they didn't deserve to win, and somehow they managed to carve out and walk away with 3 points. When you're watching the game, you're thinking they're lucky that they're going to draw here, and they've somehow managed to dig it out. And you have to have a bit of that, I think, a
Every
little bit of
team.
that resilience. You know,
Yeah.
that grit.
Every successful season,
Think
every
about-
successful league season, you're going to get some of those wins, Stan.
Yeah,
in
well,
there.
think about what we just did at the weekend. We were behind, then we managed to draw the game, and then they got a goal chalked off, and we then managed to win the game from being behind. We managed to go through the stages and walk away with the 3 points.
If Vieira is our Jota, I'm taking it. All right.
Yeah.
Remember Jota? Jota comes on against us.
There you go,
and
Jota.
scores. If Vieira comes on and scores against everybody, or creates an opportunity for us to score on every team whenever he touches the field, we'll take that, right? If he gets double digit in assists, we're laughing, right? So we'll
Exactly.
take it. So,
Don
Yes.
once said both Saliba and White were sloppy, but to Stan's point, the coordination between the two and that understanding between Saliba and Gabriel, by a margin of inches, prevented the goal from
that's all you need, though.
Garnacho. Yeah.
Everybody believes Rashford is a really good he's a clinical striker if you're going to give him space and time, and we did exactly that. If Saliba just jumps to the spot, he pulls it back, and White should close him down. If White cuts him off, even if he does get by him, Saliba's right there to clean up the mess like he usually does. So nobody took a risk. It's almost like we were just backing up, and then guess what? They attacked. That's what we've seen that before in different scenarios, but it looked exactly the same. Nobody wanted to actually go and engage.
I tell you, for me though, right, look, just looking at that offside move, for me, it's a clear example of why you need to have a centre back pairing. As in a pairing, you can't keep changing it around, because when that move is happening,
that's the first time they played.
Exactly. You see what happens there? It's Saliba that decides to step up. And you can see that Gabriel is, even though he's running, he's watching his partner, and he sees Saliba move, and he does that matrix move. That's that understanding. Maybe another defender is running and not clocking his partner. They don't have that understanding. Do you see what I mean? And Saliba probably knows, if I go now, he'll come with me. He'll come with me. He'll see it.
Neither of them would catch Garnacho.
The confidence, and it's the confidence to have the belief in your partner to do that.
Yeah.
If I go, he'll come.
Yeah,
I know he's watching, and we got it.
I would urge anyone to go check out Goldbridge and his reaction.
I did. It's good.
to those goals going in. Go away! Oh, just go away!
It's like two dogs shagging on ice skates.
It's
like,
I mean, I don't know if he's
get
doing
out.
it.
Go away. Get out.
Get out.
Go
away.
Get out.
It's Harry Maguire and it's Evan.
It's performance art, isn't it? He's performance art. He knows what he's doing. There is a little bit of feeling in it. But he's very self-aware.
I saw a comment there from Bargav who's saying that players who are big, who play half the season, Zidane, Snyder, Neymar, De Bruyne, but they're world class, and I don't think Partey is at that level, right?
Yeah,
I don't think he's at that level because he hasn't won the trophies that those guys have. So it's one thing to be that for us, but I don't know. I think it's not a good comparison to like some of the all-time great players that are out there in the world.
He's just so good, though. You want those those performances are going to be there.
Yeah,
but you cannot rely on it. And probably we were happy when we got Declan Rice because we had an insurance policy in midfield against a
and our man said, you know what, I'm splitting tens. That's what Arteta did. He said, I'm splitting tens. You never split tens. So hold on, you got to get in. You should be able to win this. You know what I mean? So I think he took a risk, and he can't be taking risks with players' health because they never back him. They never back him. Partey for what, the last 2 years? Not Zinchenko for the last 2 years? Not Tomiyasu for the last 2 years? Right? So why
We've
would you
had our
expect in the
issues.
third year, okay, it's gonna work
Yeah.
out. It's gonna be fine. Zinchenko's already been injured. Partey is now out. So Tomiyasu will complete the
mean,
trifecta, and we'll be back with the same problems we had last time.
you
Right?
hope that players don't turn into Abu Diabis or Van Persies. You know, these
Kieran
are players who
Tierney's,
we, huh?
most recently, Kieran Tierney's even, to be more
Kieran
recent,
Tierney's,
right?
Jack
And if we add
Wilshere.
at the time he was at the club
You know.
and the amount of times we were able to field him, it's quite a low number.
You hope
Yeah.
that doesn't happen, but here we are. The track record of a Zinchenko, a Tomiyasu, and even a Partey is a little bit damning. You know, Stephen said Tomiyasu gets a big up from me in the 78th minute. He was able to get back on the odd break and cut any path right across into the box. Otherwise, it could easily have been 2-1 for them. That was a nervy time in the game for me when we hit the 80th minute. The Garnacho goals chalked off.
You
And
know what that means? We're looking at the clock. We can't be looking at the clock. We need to finish this thing off. There's work to be done. This is like the business end of the season, right? This is the business end of the season. You have to be engaged and alert and urgent and have some sense of
I
urgency
believe it
to
is
see
because
this thing out.
you can't. They say you can't lose the league. You can't win the league in this part of the season, but you can certainly lose it if you're not putting yourself into a decent position and decent contention. We're right there now on 10 points. We're part of the chasing pack behind Man City, and we have to keep pace with them now. And they
There's a
will
lot of
visit
club
us
teams
in
on
3
10,
games.
isn't there? There's a lot of us all on 10 points, right? There's a lot
There's
of
a bunch
teams.
of
Yeah, four
teams.
teams.
Guess
And
what?
We're the worst one of the four.
Yeah,
Goal
goal
difference,
difference.
I suppose.
Yeah.
West Ham, we come back. Let's talk about this quickly. West Ham are one of those teams on 10 points, and Man City have to go to West Ham when we come back after this break. Do we have any hope for West Ham? James Ward-Prowse. Who else did they buy? That's pretty decent.
Kudus, who we should have bought.
Kudos, yeah. I mean,
think-
that's a tricky fixture for City, Gary.
I don't. It might be. No, I don't think it's going to be that
You're not
challenging
buying
for
that?
them. No. Yes, they've done well with the money that they got, and we went out and got some good players. But once again, you're talking about City is probably going to bring in some of the players that they haven't even brought in yet, right? Guardiola, I think. I don't know if he's been playing yet. So they brought in another player late as well. So they've just been reloading.
Okay.
They've just been reloading. So I think it could be close, but they look like they're churning along. You know what I mean? This break probably hurts them a little bit, might slow things down, but I think West Ham is still a bit of a ways to keep up
Cheeky
with
draw?
them.
A cheeky 1-1 draw with West Ham?
I'll take any drop
City?
points, but I'm just like not. We need to win our game because our game is probably,
Everton.
yeah, we should be winning that game, and that's the thing. They're playing a better team than us, so we need to win. Forget about what they do.
No,
Right.
absolutely. And one thing that's important when we come to play Everton, this is, I'm going to call this a rugby term, a strike against the head here. You know, we didn't get 3 points. We didn't get anything from the corresponding fixture stand last season against Everton. So we come back from this break, beat Everton, and we're 2 points to the good, I think.
Yeah, that's one of those fixtures that we need to correct from last season. You know, it's easy to say on paper we should do this, on paper we should do that. We didn't do it last time out, and on paper we should have. So we need to correct that. But you look at a team like Man City, I think it's very unlikely that they're going to be invincible. Very unlikely, just because they're going to be fighting on so many fronts. So that means that they're going to drop points. There will be losses somewhere.
We'll be lost.
But more importantly, there'll be draws, maybe. So, they're gonna. There's gonna be a gap for us to get in there. We just got to make that. We just got to make the most of all of our opportunities. But as I say, I don't. As good as they are, invincible. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, you know what? And as you said, they give you opportunities to score. It might be only one, but they give you an opportunity to keep yourself in the game.
Yeah.
A lot of teams don't take advantage of it, or they do take the lead, or they do make that goal, score, and then they freeze, and then they get punished for it later. When they make a mistake. So you got to play a full 90 minutes. If you remember, I think was it West Ham last season or a couple seasons ago, played them really well, right? Played them really well, and they played for 90 minutes. It's the only way you can't let up like the way we let up against Manchester United for basically 70 minutes. If that's City, I think we're in trouble because you just can't keep doing that. You got to put pressure on them, and you got to make that. You got to score those goals when you're sitting in the box, right? If Havertz and Saka score goals, we're comfortable, right?
Yeah,
We're comfortable
Martinelli
in this game, right?
too.
Martinelli, did he take any shots though that you're like, that one is like they weren't sitters like Saka and Havertz? You know what I mean? Like his required a little bit more, I don't know, world-class expertise, which he's not there yet for me.
He's got the funny thing about Martinelli last season, 15 goals and 2 assists. He's already got 2 assists this season, but no goals.
Same with Saka.
Far.
People are going, "Oh, Saka's not, he had a bad game. He had key passes and an assist. All right, he didn't score that goal, but he still made a contribution. I mean,
that's what we want. I'm sorry to interrupt
they don't get they don't score every shot. Do you know what I'm getting at? They don't score every single shot.
But
Saka, the guy just won. The guy just been voted for the second year in the wire as the best player in the league.
Yeah,
2 years in a row. He's only
the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about something when you're talking there about our players not doing anything but still contributing, and I'm like, all right, so is Havertz contributing to? This is Havertz, I guess, bashing now. Is he contributing to Arsenal?
Big hammer.
Is he contributing to Arsenal? No, but is he contributing to Arsenal because of his defensive prowess on the pitch?
Do you know what?
Or did we bring him on? Did we bring him here to contribute on the offensive side?
I heard an impressive stat about him the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I heard this impressive stat about him the other day that out of all of the squad, he wins the most duels.
Yep.
When it comes to like one-on-one duels, he wins the most. And there's been some games where he, for all we kind of say, oh, he looks a bit ozily in his body language and that, he's actually covering the most ground as well.
Yeah. Now, that's the thing.
We want to see goal contributions, don't we? That's what we want to see. That's what people.
No, because think about what that means. That means he's a better Xhaka, but not on the offensive side. And you would go, what? Anybody can be better than.
But then
Xhaka,
again,
right?
if you're gonna measure him against Xhaka got 7 goals in 38 games. And we've only played 4 games. There's still plenty of time for him to get 8 goals. It could be one more, right?
Yeah, his XG should be pretty high, right? So that's my thing.
30 games. He's played 30 games, never scored a goal, and in the last 8 games, he gets 1 in every match. He's like,
you're like, no, that's not going to work here, buddy. No, but that's why I'm like wondering, this is no different to me. Whenever when Lacazette, we would always see a Lacazette everywhere on the pitch, but inside the box. And when he was inside the box, he couldn't score to save his life. This is the same thing. It's just not. He might be good defensively, but when it comes to the offensive side, which is one of the skill sets that you definitely brought him for, he lets you down, and you're like, well, that doesn't help, right? Because in the games where his defense sucks, he won't give you any offense sometimes because he hasn't scored yet.
Here's the thing, right? In that last game where he missed that sitter and he scuffed his shot in the penalty box. Let's say that had been Martinelli or Odegaard. Even though it would have been going, he got to tuck that one away. Do you think that it would have been magnified as much as it is because it's Kai Havertz?
We were talking about Odegaard last season's missing chances. There was one against Aston Villa. We were losing the game at the time. We won that one 4-2 in the end. And we've sort of been talking about Martinelli not scoring so far after 4 goals. So I don't think we're singling Havertz out for a chance like that, in my opinion.
But you also just claimed that he's already got 2 assists in 4 games, so he's already ahead of schedule.
Yeah, but
assists now.
Martinelli should have scored a goal by now in 4 games.
No. I'm not saying he hasn't, but I'm just saying he did contribute in the GA, right?
Yep.
In goals and
Yep.
assists.
Yep.
Saka is struggling. He's struggling for us, right? But I believe he scored a
scored
goal.
2.
He scored 2 goals, and I don't know if he's had. I thought he might have an assist, right?
Well, yeah, for the corner on
But
Declan
Martinelli's
Rice.
had some good. He's had some good chances, right? He's had some shots that have just been, very well saved.
Yeah.
The keeper's had to stretch to make a save, and he's
again,
come through, he looks like he's up.
All right, good night, Stefan. Sorry, he just came in. He's like
All right.
out.
Boise's here in the chat box as well. Boyce is here. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, thanks Stefan for being here. Appreciate everyone who comes by. Everton way, we haven't won in the last 6 years. That's crazy.
And they've been fighting regulation in like the last 3. So something doesn't make sense
really?
here.
6 years?
I mean,
Jesus.
It's hard to think. Go back.
That's glaring,
I can't remember. Can somebody tell me what the score was? I remember
and
Pepe
spent
scored
a lot of money.
We lost 2-1. Rob
Everton
Holding
has spent a lot of money over the last 3 or 4 seasons. They must be over 500 million. But the problem seems to be that they spend it really badly. They've had money, but they just seem to really spend it badly.
6 seasons. Well, we got to be talking about stopping that maybe next Thursday night when we preview the Everton game. They do need a good beatdown. Never really liked Everton too much. Tiger and Gunner said, I hate to say it, Tottenham is a voodoo team, so I'm happy with them beating City. Yeah, we're going to need that team to beat City. We're going to need Manchester United or Liverpool. Maybe a Newcastle do the same as well. What's the stigma around Arsenal being a counter-attack team versus City? If they have better players, why can't we play a low block? It's just not the way we set up to play. Can we play counter-attacking football against City?
Mikel says that because you'd have different tactics for different games. Remember, but like driving a car, different ways and all that palaver. That's what he's trying to say to us.
Yeah, 59 different game states, 59 different formations.
I was just looking at some of the games where we beat them. We beat them like 5 or 6 times in a row, and 4 of those matches all included a red card that we beat them. So
United
looks like Everton. So Everton. It looks like the key to beating them is if they get a red card, we're going to win.
Okay. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a 1-goal difference in the away games. So we have an opportunity to get a draw, but most of the time we lose by 1 goal. So
really, I asked somebody in the chat when was the last time we beat Everton. Really has come back with 5-2 in 2017. Wenger's last season, Alexis hat-trick, Ozil and Granit Xhaka.
Yeah.
5-2.
Alexis hat-trick seems familiar.
Yeah. That checks.
Seems familiar.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the 4th red card that we had played. So yeah,
there's still this Granit Xhaka over Havertz still. So Havertz is now
the ghost of Xhaka.
No, but everybody said, why can't we just let him walk for free and bring in someone? Right?
Let me ask you this question then, right? Let me ask you this question, everybody. Yeah. You guys, people in the chat box, is there anybody here that is happy that we got Kai Havertz instead of James Maddison? If you had the choice between the two, who would you go for? I mean, is there anyone that doesn't say James Maddison? Please let me know.
No, I think it would be
pretty. So you might as well just ask. So do you mind washing your eyes out with bleach? And that's basically what you just.
That just seems like such a fit, doesn't it? Does he not just seem like a fit, man?
Yeah.
Exactly what we were looking for, I think. Exactly the way that he's been playing so far this season. And what was the price for Maddison?
40.
What did they pay?
They got him at a snip.
Oh my god!
They got him at a snip.
That's 25 less than what we paid.
And you can't tell me he wouldn't. You can't tell me he wouldn't have chose to come to Arsenal over that team. if he had the
Of course.
opportunity or choice.
We're the
You know what I mean?
Invoke team. We're Invoke. We're the Invoke team.
But Mikel Arteta, I've said this for a few podcasts, and I'll say it again so it sticks. Havertz is Mikel Arteta's Nicolas Pepe. This is the project. Like Gary hates that word, project.
No, I hate it because Arteta is a project, and he doesn't need to take on one. Arteta is still figuring out this thing called managing a big club.
Is he? Is he?
Yes.
In his fourth
Yes.
season now. Come on, he's not a rookie.
No.
Not a rookie.
What four-year
He's not a
manager
newbie.
is coaching a big club?
Look, you're right, Gary.
No.
I mean,
I don't think
But he's been thrust in at a big club and been managing it for 4 years, and he got to second. It's not like he's working. He's worked his way up the ladder.
But you know what? He got the second
into
with.
And he's
No, but he got the second with training wheels on. You know why? You know why I say that? Because he didn't have to play on all four fronts. He didn't.
I've got a vision now. His dogs have got. His dogs have got a bad back leg, and they've got those wheel things on, and they're like.
That's Arteta. That's Arteta. The guy's going crazy and got second place. Now everybody thinks, you know what? We take the wheels off. He's gonna win the league. No. Got to keep the wheels on.
No.
And then add more, add some engines to the wheelbase.
But this team
may
is
look
his now.
bad.
Yeah, this is his team.
And look,
if you look at this team, it's now the face of Mikel Arteta in every way with the amount of money that he's spent. Although, this is a new thing to him, the Champions League, right? He's had European in the Europa League, but now we're at the big table, and it's going to be interesting to see how he uses the players, because you can't play your first 11 if you have a first 11 for all of the games. You have to do something different. You have to.
Yeah,
it's not possible.
And it will be,
especially with the players that we named that are lightweight and are susceptible to getting muscle strains.
And it will be four fronts. I mean, we're gonna go into the Champions League now for the first time in 7 years. We had it for 22 years, and we're back in the Champions League. We will be having to manage a Premier League and a Champions League that looks a little bit like a Europa League lineup. The teams are going to be playing, but then we're going to go into Christmas and we'll have to switch to an FA Cup. While hopefully we top the Champions League group by December and get into the knockout stages in February, March. So there will be that juggling, and the whole way through the league will be your bread and butter each and every week. But we will have cup competitions, and we're going to need Mikel Arteta and this squad to sustain through at least 3 or 4.
And as you said, this is all new for Arteta. He's never coached in the Champions League, right? He's never coached. He's seen Pep do it, but he's never done it himself. So that's a new thing. Now he's going to have to continue to maintain the quality and get the results that got him second place. That's a second thing. He's going to have to get. Some people probably think he needs to get a trophy. Because at some point we got to see a trophy. We should be playing for a trophy at the least, right? At some point in the season, we should be like, we're in the semis. We have a chance to go into the finals. We need to get in the finals, right? Yep. He's gonna have to make the right decisions to get us into that final. So all of these are things he hasn't done lately. Like, when's the last time he went into a semi or a quarters and we came out successful? It's been a while. He's done that. Couple of times, a couple of times in Europa League, he's had an opportunity to go into semis, and he hasn't done it.
Yep.
Did you two guys watch the video that I sent you in DMs yesterday? I think it was a different.
I did not get to
about Mikel Arteta, and he made some interesting points. He was saying that in a lot of Mikel Arteta's earlier interviews, he would use the word "we" a lot. We. We doing this. We are doing this. We are going to do this. We are we. The collective. Quite lately, now that he's getting a lot of, he seems to be being questioned a lot by his tactics. The Thomas Partey, the Gabriel Magalhaes submission, and now it's a lot of I. It's not we. It's gone from we to I.
Seriously,
and also as well, it's and his mantra has always been to trust. Just trust me. Just trust me. But I think there's a time when it's okay trusting someone, but you have to start seeing what you're trusting in. You cannot go and trust blindly for an overextended of time. You can buy into something, but at some point, you're going to need to start seeing returns in your investment, right? And our investment in this is trusting him.
Yep.
And he's still at this point in his interviews. It's very much like, it's almost kind of like, don't question me. I know what I'm doing. That's how it's coming across to me now in his interviews. Look, don't question me. You just got to trust me. I know what I'm doing. And there's only, for me, there's only so long that I can go in along with somebody that has that kind of viewpoint. Whether it's somebody that's trying to sell me a car, a house, the tactics of the football team, or whatever.
Well, you got to see the results.
I'm getting at. I need to start, at some point, I need to start seeing what he's talking about.
You got to see the fruits of the labor.
And you know what? He always has.
And don't get me wrong, it wasn't a negative video. It wasn't a video where they were just coming into hammer, but they made some very good observations about the manager and how he acts under pressure and when he's not under pressure.
Yeah.
Also, he also seems he has to learn the hard way. You know, like when your mom says, "Don't touch the hot stove because it'll burn you," and you're like, "I'll show you," and you touch it and you burn your hand. Like Arteta is the same thing. Like,
no better.
Your mum runs in and smacks you around the ear.
Yeah, and then you're like, "What are you doing? I told you you're gonna burn your hand, so stop doing that." And then you burn your hand, and you're like, "What?" But like that, I think he likes to learn the hard way, right? So far, we have, not been able to cross the line to get fifth, not been able to cross the line to get first in the league. Now we're gonna try to compete.
Sure.
I mean, no.
Madison and Tony, we would definitely win the league, I believe.
But Arteta probably wouldn't play him.
Well,
because he said he's got, but like he likes to learn the hard way, and I DWTT stands for don't waste the trip, dude. You are there. The line, you can see the line you need to cross. Don't screw this up. And it's like one of those things. Like a marathon runner. You come into like the last mile of the race, and you got people chasing you down. All you have to do is just maintain your pace, and you get nervous, and you push the pace, and you burn yourself out. That's what we just did. That's what we did, knowing exactly that it's going to happen because it happened the last time.
Yeah.
He likes to learn the hard way, and I don't understand why he has to. You don't have to learn the hard way when you've been taught by the best.
You can win games. You don't have to do it the hard way. I'm going to put a star in this one from Boise. I want to come back to Pepe over Havertz because we know the news about Pepe. Have you heard the news, Gary, Stan?
I just saw him as on a plane.
Nicola Pepe, he's on a plane to Turkey. We'll come back to that one
today. Oh boy, sorry, I was getting the Beatles.
Love it. Madison was a fit. People don't like his attitude.
There you go. So that's true, and he's not Arteta material.
Is he like a Grealish that way? Is Madison?
I don't think Grealish would work at Arsenal either. I mean, all he does is win. He wins trophies and stuff, and then he goes out drinking for like a week.
Grealish is that guy who's like tumbling out of a nightclub at 4:30 a.m. in the morning. You know what I mean?
And then he's at practice, and you're like tired.
When they're all running around showering each other with the champagne, Grealish is just like, what a waste. What a waste.
He's like
drinking that. Exactly.
Like,
sprayed it.
I didn't look good, did it? But you know what I meant.
Yeah. Madison, I hate. Really, Moss? I didn't like him when he was with Leicester, but it's a player. I didn't like Gabriel Jesus when he was at City. He was that kind of player that I didn't like against us.
I did. I liked him.
I didn't really like Gabriel Jesus when he was scoring against Arsenal. I didn't like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't like Rodri, but I'll take him. You know what I mean?
I don't want Madison scoring.
I really hate Rodri.
Yeah, Rodri.
I hate it. And that's a term of endearment. He's a really good player, but I hate having to play against him because he's going to get you one way or the other, right? Either he's going to put in a tackle that he should get a yellow for, or he's going to put the game away with his foot. And you're like, damn it, I want one of those guys. Who's our Rodri? Who's our Rodri?
Do you know who our Madison could
be? Declan Rice.
Do you know who our Madison? No. Do you know who our Madison could be? The way that some of the goal that I saw him score the other day, Yeah, man. I think Teabag could be that kind of
Teabag.
a guy. Some of those passes and the way that some of those bending goals, he's shown us a little bit of that already. You know, if he can start doing that on a consistent level, and that's why I don't want to. I know there's a lot of people that can just put him in the team now. I'm still not. I still don't think we should do that. I still like the way that we're easing him in off the bench. Letting him come into games.
You know what? I hear what you're saying, but he needs to be part of a rotation where he's going to have to start games. I don't want him to be starting games because you know what?
I heard that as well.
You know, I think we need to have a team where players can start for us in the Premier League. You know, not because of an injury, like they just start because you know another player is like.
You're right. You're right, Gary. Well, would you bring him back against Everton? We got some tough games coming up. You see on the caption just below, Everton. Then we got the North London derby. We got Bournemouth away, and then it's City. I think you got to maybe bring him into an Everton game away from home.
Who?
Fabio Vieira. Give him that chance.
I actually think
Kai Havertz is good as Park.
Havertz could be, the hype.
You put Havertz in there at Goodison Park.
I really would like to see him and how him and Gabriel Jesus operate together. Whether there'll be knockdowns and the other one running on. You know, Havertz playing more as a second striker. It's something I've got in my mind that he's done before, and I want to see whether they try that. Because we said, didn't we? We said 10 games with Havertz. And I think that's generous. It's not like he's moved from another country. He's almost at the halfway point. He's almost at 5 games. And so far, you know,
it's been slim pickings.
I get the 10 games thing, but for me, I get the 10 games thing, but guess what? It doesn't have to be 10 straight games.
No, you're right.
It have to be 10 straight games.
We're being generous. It doesn't take 10 games.
No, it doesn't have to be 10 straight games, though. No, think about it. But it doesn't have to be 10 straight. That's the thing. I think everybody wants to give him time and stuff, but they're he didn't have to play all 4
10
games.
Appearances.
No. I hear what you're saying. But
after judging him,
I would. Yeah, I think we're going to give him the whole season, but I think Arteta pushing him out there every day, every game, isn't helping him because he's not.
Remember,
what is he getting? Like he's defensively sound. Yes, I get that, but it's punishing him on the other side of the ball. You know when he's got to put the ball in the net, right, and score.
Well,
you know, that's.
I was listening to TalkSport and we're talking about Kai Havertz, and there were a couple of footballers on the panel. Whether you like the footballers or not, you know, Cundy and O'Hara, but they were, you know, and they were saying that when you're in that situation, and you've been brought into a club and you've been, you know, brought in for money, and the manager, you know, it might not be going well, and the manager keeps putting you out there, it makes you as a footballer, it's good for you because you think that I've still got the trust of the manager, I've still got an opportunity to try and make something happen. It's when the manager says, yeah, I think we're going to take you out for a bit now. That's when you start getting all a bit paranoid and thinking like, I've lost the faith. You know what I mean? Like,
the firing line.
You know what? That's only. You know why that's a problem.
The vote of confidence.
But the only reason why that's a problem is because you have not been, as they say, you have not been real with your player in terms of how you're planning to use them. Like that would, to me, sounds like I'm going to give you 10 games straight, and then all of a sudden I'm going to pull you out for 5. No, it should be. I'm going to give you a number of games to evaluate you. You're going to come in and out of the lineup like you would on any other player would happen, right? And we'll work it that way. That's the way it should have been told. Like seeing him come out and for me struggle to do what he needs to do, I think is an issue. And I think we need to be able to rotate. We keep talking about having a deep team, but we keep saying that we're just going to put the same 10, 11 players out there and see if it works. And then we have another 5 or 6 players that deserve some starting time based on what they've done in the past or what they can offer. You know what I mean? So that's where, and then we're going to get punished for it later when those players come out and then everybody's complaining. Look, they're out of form. Well, yeah, they are. They've been sitting on the bench watching the same player do the same things over and over again. At some point, Nelson deserves a chance. Trossard deserves more chances. Emil Rowe deserves chances. Fabio Vieira deserves chances, right? That's for 4 players.
No, the way
for our front 3-4 positions, right?
Gary's voice going into the falsetto range.
Yeah, no.
Arteta says trust me, but he needs to trust his players as well.
And that's been a problem with him since he got here. You could tell how things were going to play out depending on whether or not he trusted them or not. And he might play them one
So-
game, and then he'll do anything else but play them.
Hmm.
Right? He'll go. You know what? I will put Tierney, defensively sound defender, on the bench, and not play him. I won't even dress him. And then we need a defensive stopper to come in to close out a game. I won't even put him in.
Yeah.
We've just lost. We just drew 2 games in a row. We have Liverpool. Let's see if we can close this thing out. Can we bring on Tierney? No, because you know what?
He was about
all
to.
he does is play defense. And guess what? You're up 2-1 with an opportunity to see out this game, and
He
you
was
don't play
about
him.
to.
Okay.
He was about to bring Tierney on.
Nah, he was too late on that. Should
He was like,
Zinchenko was getting punched and beat up out there. You know, you
roasted
could just see
like
it, you could see it coming. You could see it coming.
yeah.
And then by the time he decided to put him in, too late.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
should have been done. It should have been done at the first time Zinchenko looked a little, this isn't going to work out. And that was earlier, and there was enough time before that to bring him in.
Oh, plenty of time. Stan said
So
something.
we're just over the hour mark, and I'm going to play my first devil's advocate
I
card of
freaking knew
tonight's
it.
show.
Devil's
as I,
advocate.
as
I
I
can
like
see
to
that
do.
glint. I can
As
see
I
that
like to
glint
do.
behind your shades. I can just
Shuffling.
see it.
I'm shuffling the cards. So I'm
Yeah.
just thinking about the Havertz thing, and I'm just thinking like you could go all the way back to the great Dennis Bergkamp, and it was 7 games before he put the ball in the back of the net, and that's ostensibly playing as a forward, what you're looking for him to do. And then you look at someone like Peter Crouch when he went to Liverpool. I think it was more than 10 games before he scored a goal, and the manager kept putting him in. There was even one match where they got a penalty, and he wasn't the penalty taker. He took the penalty because he's like, I want to get off the mark. Didn't score the penalty, but you know it did come right. So I'm just saying that maybe taking him out of the team isn't the best move after 4 games, because my other backup to this is in the pre-season, and I know it's only pre-season, but there were 2 games, wasn't there, back to back, where he turned up at the back post and scored. And I remember seeing that and thinking, oh, okay, so he knows how to put the ball in the back of the net then.
Yep.
However, that City that you missed the other day was bad. I would have scored that. I would have scored that. No shit.
Yeah, you know how your manager works, right? If going into the 7th game of the season, he starts to pick it up, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's been perfect. Do we sit him in the 11th? No. You can't do that now. He's on a roll. Are you kidding me? So now this is what's going to happen, right? The 11th game he's going to play because guess what? He's finally hit his stride. No. If he comes in and out of the lineup, guess what? The same thing that happened to Martinelli when he came out of the lineup and when he got back in, what happened? You're like, damn, he probably that Trossard, lit a fire onto him, right? And I think he needs to be part of. If we're going to be a big club, he needs to be able to come in and out of the lineup, knowing that it's not because I was bad. It's just the way things work here, right? And then I'm going to come in maybe late in the game if needed, or I get a day off, right?
Yeah,
that's what I think needs to happen. So there's none of this. Well, you're pulling me because I'm bad. No, I just think you need to come in and out of the lineup so that you can be fresh and ready to go. You're not trying to
motivate it.
Yeah.
I'm of the other. I hear where you're coming from, but I'm of the other opinion where I would rather go the route, what they did with Peter Crouch and Dennis Bergkamp, who I mentioned just a moment ago. I would rather go that route and try to, keep encouraging them. And I'd rather know sooner rather than later whether I've got someone that is going to be good for us or not, rather than delaying it by taking them out of the team, seeing them training really well, but there's no competition in training as such, putting them back in the team and it not really working. But, a couple of games, taking them out.
You're screwing over your other players, Stan.
I would, but I would. Okay, I hear what you're saying, and I do agree with some of it. However, I just think that, with me, I would rather know sooner than later. I don't want to delay this shit and leave it. Or maybe I want to know. Is this guy going to fucking do it for me or not? And I will play it till I'll have a number of performances before I can say, okay, no, this is working or it's not.
Stan,
That's just how I would do it.
Stan, how many games did it take you to figure out Timber was all right?
Yeah, but it's a different player. It's a different.
It doesn't matter. He's a football player on a pitch who has a player that hasn't even played in our league. How many games?
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, if I'd spent 65 million on this guy,
no, you keep going back to that number, and that's why.
If I done that, I would do my best to try and make it work. So that when I do put the tools down and say this isn't working, I'm doing it knowing confidently. I'm getting at. There's nothing in my mind that this is not working. I want to get to a definite.
Look at our next 5 games. Leave the Champions League out of it. Look at the next 5 games. They're coming through on the ticker on the bottom. You're going to see them very shortly. Everton away.
And I don't have to leave him on for 90 minutes for every game. I could change things around, but I want to give him the chance.
Everton, Tottenham, Bournemouth, Man City, and Chelsea are our next 5 games. Those are big games.
The brace against Tottenham is a hero.
No, but yes, I hear what you're saying. But everybody wants him to. Everybody wants to see him come through immediately, and I'm like, why? Why does he have to show you? Why does he have to show you in the first 10 games of the season? Why can't he show you in 10 of the first 15 games of the season?
I'll tell you why. Because he's not a young kid from an academy. He's not someone that's just moved over from Brazil and has never played in Europe and needs to find his way. This guy is an international for Germany. He's played in Champions League finals and scored winning goals. And if you compare that to someone like James Maddison has moved teams within the same league, plays in a similar position, and is hitting the ground running. I'm actually being generous to Havertz by saying I've given him 10 appearances. I'm trying to be generous. I don't think I think that if Maddison can do it, why can't this guy? I think that, but I'm trying to be generous because he's an Arsenal player, and I don't want to be like, oh, it's fucking shit. You know what I mean? I want him to win. And as I said many a times, the lesson that I've learned from buying players from rivals, that I've learned the most is, and I've said it before, the day I found out we were signing Danny Welbeck, I was absolutely livid, mate. I think I almost took the bedroom door for hinge or something like that. I was like, what are we doing? We are backsliding. We're buying him.
Yeah.
Every time I hear his name now, I look to see what he's up to. I love Danny Welbeck. He won me over because of his ethics to the game, his work effort, his approach. I believe that he wanted Arsenal to succeed. And Kai Havertz may be able to do the same. So I don't want to shut the door on him straight away. However, I do believe for his standing in the game, the money that we paid, his international reputation, if Maddison's able to go to another team and hit the ground running, he should as well, to be fair. He should. And
the sample size does not have to be consecutive games.
Well, but that's what Stan wants him to get this.
I know, but it doesn't.
And I don't think that's just, you know what? What you're saying there is, I'm just gonna put the shiny new toy in there, and everybody else gets screwed. Because what did Trossard do for you last season? He came in January, gave you 10 assists, actually better than Erdegaard, right? And now you're like, nah, I can't figure out a way to get him to use him now. Fabio Vieira struggled last season, right? He struggled last season. He's finally showing up now. Oh, guess what? We got to figure out if this Havertz guy is going to work, right? You know, and every time you come in for Havertz, guess what? You do something every time.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like, yes, Havertz maybe deserves to get that, but it shouldn't be at the expense of the team. And if you've got quality coming off your bench that can start for you, then why don't they get a chance? Like Trossard playing Trossard playing as a 9 is a waste, right? Trossard playing as a what is it called?
Left 8 or a winger?
Yeah. Well, no, playing as a I said inverted 9, but it's not inverted 9. It's not but it could be an inverted 9. The way we were.
Gary's putting pearls everywhere.
I'm just making numbers here. But what's it called when your 9 comes back and supports the wings?
False.
A right back.
False 9.
False 9. Sorry, I can't think of the word. Yeah, he could play a false 9. If he played, somebody was saying that if he played a false 9, and instead of playing a 9 in that game that he started, or maybe he switched with how would that game play out because of the way the game, right? How would that game played out?
Picking you up.
Yeah,
It's
no,
been a long.
I think there are answers there, and I think we're punishing the other players that are actually out there performing, and then saying, you know what, you cost 65, so we got to make it work, and you don't. It's actually been proven by your father. You're the man who showed you how to coach. Actually showed you I don't have to play £100 million player. I don't, just because I paid 100 mil. Guess what? If you're saying Arteta is saying it's all about me, you should be able to go to Stan, who doesn't even know what's going on, and say, yes, I spent 65, but this is not a plan for just 10 games. This is not a plan for 38 games. This is a plan for the next 5 years of this player's career. All right.
But here's the thing,
And I
like
need
you're saying, like you said, like it shouldn't be at the detriment of the team. There's other players that should be playing. So then I would look at it this way: in the eyes of the manager, he doesn't believe that those players that you're talking about are good enough. Otherwise, he wouldn't have leapfrogged their position in the squad by bringing in a player that plays in that position for the amount of money. So I'm getting at. I'm not saying that that's what I would do, but that's obviously must be his thinking. So he obviously believes that these players that you're talking about shouldn't be in ahead of Havertz. Or why did he buy him in the first place? He could have used that money and gone to another part of the team, but he didn't. He went to the same place where you've got a Trossard who can play there. He went to the same place where you've got a ESR who can play there. A Vieira can play there. Even maybe a Rice or a Partey can play there, depending on how you do your midfield. But he still felt that he needed to spend 65 million and make this guy the highest salary in the club for that position. Why? I don't know. I don't know. But
it goes against everything that against everything that they did in the window. They went out and got players that can start from them immediately and produce. And they went out there and got a player who was not trending upwards. Timber trending upwards, right? Raya trending upwards. Rice trending upwards. Yep. Havertz not trending upwards.
Things were going
right.
too
if you
well.
said you got a
Madison,
Madison,
trending.
no, think about it. If you got a Kudus trending upwards, right? Diaby trending upwards. All these
Madison?
players. No, Madison was playing. This is on a bad team. He was just on a bad team.
Upwards.
They were just, he was, but he had more. There was more positives about him than Havertz because he actually is performing on a terrible team. Havertz on a terrible team, not performing. So which one do you go with? I'll go with the most expensive one who's struggling on a worse team. Not in a worse team because Madison's team isn't around anymore. But still, he was one of the the bright lights on that team.
Havertz was playing for some dead Chelsea side too. Interesting stat from boys here. Henry, Wright, and Bergkamp all scored their first goals against Southampton. And it did take him a number of games as well. Havertz and Ødegaard played the same position and role, forcing Kai to play a different position.
Southampton ain't in this league anymore, so
we're not. We're not.
Are we going to play game?
We're not dropping down just to do that. We've never done that, actually. I don't think we've been relegated ever. There's no denying he's getting into position and creating. Havertz will find his feet soon enough. Another team that has never been relegated from the top flight is Everton as well. Bring it on.
Mm-hmm.
I think for Havertz to be deemed a success, we've talked about this, has to be 10 plus goals in the league, or at the very least be
if we're going to keep claiming 65 mil, he has to score double digits, and he has to have about 15 goal contributions for him to be even to be anywhere near success. If the team goes out and wins all these trophies and the man's got 5 and 5, it's not a success for him.
No,
he may have supported us getting the team to where they needed to go because he was on the pitch for many of the games, but for him, personally, and that's why I feel like you're trying to force him to be successful as opposed to letting it organically just happen. Because think about it, he's learning a whole new way to play, right? Everybody said his defense was, was a struggle last season.
It's not a whole new way to play, really. He can play.
No. But he was struggling in all aspects. He was struggling in all aspects of football last season. Defense, offense, everything. Now all we talk about is his defense, when in reality he's supposed to be an offensive threat for us, right?
To Havertz.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
So
it's not
when I
working
hear
in that
that,
direction, you're gonna
so
make
That's
he's
helping out
contributing.
defensively.
He's contributing, but you don't want. I don't. I think he needs to be contributing on the offensive side. This is almost the same as saying, guess what, Zinchenko, you're really good at pushing that ball up the pitch, but when it comes to defending, we'll just have to deal with it, you know. And you don't like that
Yeah.
either. So why? So if you don't like Zinchenko, then you don't like Havertz, because they're both playing in positions and are not providing the support you expect them to. Havertz should be scoring. Zinchenko should be playing some defense.
Yeah, but the thing is, I actually think that the way that every time that you get to an hour before the game and you go online and you look to see the lineup and you see the formation they put up, that's not how you play. We don't play in that formation that you see on the screen. We don't stay like that for 90 minutes. You know what I'm saying? When we're off the ball, we play like a low block 4-4-2. When we're attacking, sometimes it's 2 at the back and 5 at the top. And I just think that even though on the paper you might see Kai Havertz playing in that left 8 spot, I think he's going to be playing as a second striker.
But he's not even in the.
It's not like
how
you see him.
Yeah.
So
I don't know
you
what
want
that.
to see Zinchenko in midfield, Stan, in
Sorry?
those lineups. You
Say
want to
again?
see Zinchenko in
I'm not
Verdi.
sure what you mean there, Stan.
What do you mean?
I think he's saying the lineup that you see the lineups and those
The
players
formation,
are
I'd say, not the lineup. That's the formation. The formation, I should say.
those players are not taking up those positions that Stan feels represents the formation they should be playing.
No.
Right? If Madison's so good, why didn't none of the big clubs go in for him? Said Don Juan. I have no clue why a big club did
It
not.
wasn't
go in
like
for
he
him.
was bad in the last couple of
No.
seasons.
United didn't get him.
He was actually,
Here's my
I think
answer.
he was actually. Yeah.
I just say here's my
We
answer.
we
to that.
went
It's
got
just-
we got. Go ahead, Stan.
It's just like saying, I saw someone in the chat box saying that they would still like us to persevere with Nicola Pepe. And I'm just saying, like, Nicola Pepe is available and nobody wants to pay money for him. No one wants to pay any money for him. I think if that team in Turkey, was it 2.6 million? 2.6 million.
Trabzonspor.
And he's seeing players that have like hardly played ball going for like 60, 70 million. I mean, that just tells you what the, not just our view, but the world view of Nicola Pepe is. He's standing, notwithstanding.
Yeah.
We didn't even get 5 million for Pepe. It's 2.5, I think. Moss 2.6, something like that.
And a lot of that has to do with, for me, that I always thought it was, if you put him in situations to succeed, he'll come through for you. And guess what? I think for him it's more of a mental thing. He just didn't want it enough. He didn't want it enough. And it's, because he has the talent and we see it there. You put him in 90 minutes, you're going to get something out of him, but you can't take that risk that he's going to give you something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like like right now we know if we take Havertz out in the 70th minute, Fabio Vieira will answer the call, right? Whereas Arteta would leave Pepe in knowing that in 90 minutes I'm going to get something from him. And sometimes he didn't give you anything, but most of the time he did when he played 90, right? He gave you something, and you just can't take that risk. So I think for him it was a mental thing, and it's a shame because I believe there's a good footballer in there.
Yeah,
he's gone on loan, but he's gone on loan. He's gone back to the country where he had a reputation. He's been in the shop window. He's obviously done nothing for anyone to be sniffing around. The club that had him on loan sent him back.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had an opportunity to sell himself in France, and he obviously hasn't. I've not been tracking him, but where are the big bids?
They haven't materialized. But here's a player who has put himself to the fore in the last couple of games. BX Gunner says something just clicked with Fabio. Hungry, determined. The same needs to happen for Havertz, and he's transforming games for us now. He's reclaiming situations that we're faltering in the second half, pepping up our play, dare I say it, and playing in a way that puts playing in a way that puts defense is under pressure. I think it was in the 90th, between the 90 minute and the 96 minute of that Man United game, we were recycling the ball against Man United in those minutes. Dan, for 3 or 4 minutes, we had sustained pressure in their right back position down our left, and it was Fabio Vieira, it was Martinelli, Zinchenko, just turning the screw on Man United, keeping the pressure on, and they could not. It reminded me of Liverpool last season at home when we squeezed that penalty out of them as well, because they fouled Gabriel Jesus. We kept them under pressure, and in the end, they got tired, and the pressure told in the end with Declan Rice scoring in the 96th minute. So I think Fabio Vieira has been a large part of helping us win the points against Fulham, the point that we got against Fulham. We remember the assist and the penalty for the Fulham game, and against Man United as well, a key part of that as well.
And I know people, or the youth of today, like to use the word cook when they talk about footballers, but I'm of the opinion with Teabag that we need to just simmer, continue what it is that we're doing. And you're seeing a player that is gaining confidence. You can just see the way he holds himself now on the pitch, the way he's looking around for passes and getting himself into space, that he feels a part of it. I understand that off the pitch, you know, his bromance is with Martinelli. You can see it on the pitch. And it's good that when you have those kind of friendships, you see it on the pitch as well. You know where they're going to be.
And he's got that pass in him. The pass for Gabriel Jesus last season, the pass for Martinelli away at Aston Villa. And I remember that snapshot of up at Anfield when Martinelli had that ball. He just had to find Saka through the middle. A perfect Fabio Vieira. Fabio Vieira would have found Saka in that situation.
I think if I recall, he also in Europa League last season put in a nice cross to Nketiah for a header.
Yeah,
and he also had a volley. It didn't hit, but it was like, I don't think any of our players could volley like that. You know what I mean? So he's got definitely some skills, and it's like we needed to see him do it a lot more, right?
And remember, when he came to us the season before in Portugal, he had the most assists at 14. You know, and we're starting to see that now. But I don't want him to have to be shoved into the starting lineup too quick. I love the way that he's been assimilated into the team. It's going to make him more hungry.
These cameos.
And it's nice to have people on the bench that they don't just come on as a warm body to make up the number. They come on and they're able to contribute.
And
I hear what you're saying, Stan, but no, we need to have starters coming off our bench. We didn't. No. We need like guys to come and give us 60, 70 minutes for a game. That's what we need.
He started and didn't see it. You can see it. We've all been calling for Trossard, me included.
You play him out of. You know what? To prove.
I was out of position.
Yes. So if I play, it's exactly what happened.
He's a footballer.
Did you see him playing in that game? Did you see him playing in that game? Is he a 9? Should he be going in for headers with two big giants? You remember the giants surrounding him? Is he going to be? Is he going to be able to contribute? No, he wasn't playing a false 9. That's the problem. He was playing a 9 with two tall trees around him. Yes, he's not going to be able to contribute.
Are we talking about Leandro?
That's when Nketiah came in there. Yeah, things opened up because he's a 9.
Yeah.
If you play a player out of position and it doesn't look right, it doesn't look right.
Gary, if he's playing false 9, he has to have a little bit more.
He wasn't playing a false 9. No, that's what I'm trying to say. He wasn't playing a false 9.
He was playing
the 9 differently. Yeah, he's playing a 9.
Okay, well, sometimes you go in as a 9, sometimes you go out as a 9.
If you watch the game, he was playing a 9. He was just swallowed up by the center back there, and he can't contribute that way.
What's happening?
That's why he was out of the game.
So what's happening with Fabio Vieira? We need the same thing for Trossard. We need the
same thing. Don Juan says about Vieira's height. He's a little bit too short. Santi Cazorla wasn't the tallest bloke in the world.
And Messi's a really big giant too, right? Messi's tall, right?
The thing is, if you're small, you've got to have a good centre of gravity, and I think Vieira has a good centre of gravity.
Cazorla wasn't really tall either, and guess what? He made you look silly, right?
We need Southampton in the FA
That's
Cup.
when you're smaller, you should be
because-
quicker than everybody else, and if you're smarter, you're going to be able to get
Maradona.
away and get your. So I think you either have to be a big giant who's light on his feet like a Harland, or you're going to be a short guy who's going to be able to beat you because they're they can make moves you can't move, right? You can't make. So I think you just got to take whatever you're given and use it to the best, right?
Yeah. And we have Emile Smith-Rowe has to get minutes yet. Trossard's got to shine. So hopefully in the coming weeks they get minutes against Everton, Tottenham, Bournemouth, Man City, and then we go into Champions League even before that. After the Everton game, we go to the Champions League. The situation with Havertz, it kind of irritates me a little bit that Mikel Arteta has all this energy.
We're back to Havertz.
I'm just going to say there.
We went away from him, and then we just come all the way back to Jordan.
So think about it. It's almost like the whole Xhaka thing, you know. If we know we could not start and end a conversation without Xhaka coming in.
It's not Havertz bashing; it's more Mikel Arteta bashing.
This is like
he's telling Havertz.
This is like Al Pacino and Godfather 3, innit? Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
But Stan, he's telling Havertz about the issue he had trying to get his wife.
No, he tried to conquer her. My missus. I played it to my missus. I said to my missus, "You complaining about? I conquered you." She like that.
There is no way he slept on the couch.
It.
There's no way he did not sleep on the couch that night. I mean, he probably just worked. He probably just did one of those late nights in the office kind of thing.
Yes.
underneath the desk.
His missus obviously trusted the process.
She said that. No, I think she said that was unacceptable.
Yeah, non-negotiable.
So that night, Kai Havertz was out in the bars chatting up every woman he could find. Do you know what I mean? Just to
trying to conquer them.
What a word my manager said.
Well, it was difficult to conquer her. I was like,
my manager said, "I have to conquer you." Where was this love for Nicolas Pepe? Where did he spend all his time and energy on Nicolas Pepe? He didn't, right?
No.
I think it's got to be. It's a two-way street. Arteta will meet you two ways, and Pepe wasn't going to meet him.
Okay.
Pepe probably didn't even know he was calling.
Kai was like, "Tell me how I conquer them, Mikel. Tell me how I do it." Pepe was like, not bothered. You know.
Well, you know why? You know what? Hopefully, what Rice did shows Havertz what he has to do. He has to have that moment, right?
Yeah.
Now, I mean, anybody think going into that corner that guess what? Rice will come out on the other end like, we're damn right that's what 105 mil gets you. Nobody knew that going in to that cross, all right, that corner. Yeah. So that's what I've been wanting him to come out and be like, bang, the guy right off the bat, because that's what he needs. Everybody keeps talking about he needs to build up his confidence. No, he needs to come out and do what he does and do it fast, so then people go, that's what the Havertz is that we're all talking about back in Germany or wherever he came from, right? Yeah. That's what he needed for his re-entry into a big-time football club. That's what he needed. He hasn't got there yet. So when he gets that first goal, hopefully it's a worldie, as they say, and we're all laughing like we'll see that again, hopefully, and then he has to do it again. But we haven't got there yet, so. It's going to take him some time. That's why I don't think we need to rush him, and we don't need to force him to play games just because we spent a lot of money on him. I think he needs to get, if he's not going to bang like Timber and Rice did the first time you saw them play, there's no reason to rush it. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. I think this one isn't just going to click right away. And if you force it, I think you're asking for trouble.
Mm-hmm.
The omission of Timber feels like such a cool joke, doesn't it? After everything that we saw, the promise that we saw that this how he seemed to naturally slot in a couple of positions as well. It seems like it's
cool.
You know what I mean? It's like when
you know what I know what happened.
Toy robot, you get a toy robot, you open it up and you get that.
I know exactly what happened.
But they didn't get the batteries, man. They didn't get the batteries. You can't do nothing with it. Shops are shut.
You know what I know. You know what I believe is what happened. I think Havertz was in the locker room in that halftime. He pulled out his voodoo doll, and guess where he stuck the pin? Right in the knee.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that makes any sense now. It makes sense now.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
Timber is out there taking my shine. Timber's out there taking my, the lights, the cameras. No. I need to somehow.
We had so many happy accidents. We had to have an unhappy accident,
I guess
and
so.
Timber was one of them. He was the chosen one.
Yeah.
He was supposed to. He was supposed to do what? Be the one. He was supposed to be the one.
You're making him sound like Anakin Skywalker.
Reece Nelson, according
I have
to
the high ground.
according to the stats, has played 1 minute of Premier League football. I think he's contributed more than Havertz, who's played 311 minutes. Right? If you look at the way we played last game with Nelson on the pitch, you're like, Havertz hasn't done that. And all you can claim right now is he's been defensively sound. Offensively, what is he giving you offensively to add on to that defense? I don't think is there a play? I don't remember a play where you went, oh, that was Havertz. It almost happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. It's probably happened, but I don't remember that. So.
Yeah. You have to look real hard, I suppose, but I don't want to be seen as bashing Havertz, even though I've been doing it a little bit tonight.
I want him to do well, but I don't think I want to force him out there every time. To just have it forced, to have it.
We have
forced out of him.
We have Nelson. We have players now who can do the job. Nelson, Vieira, Emile Smith-Rowe, Trossard. These are players who could probably do a job in that position, and it might just look better. Trossard's situation at Brighton was similar to Alba at Arsenal. Could trouble be brewing with Arteta again? No,
but think about it. You look at the City team, and you had Mahrez, you had Foden, all coming off the bench. Nobody said, "Oh, you know what?" Everybody said, no, nobody said that, because guess what?
Exactly.
And now, if we put Havertz on the bench, oh my gosh, that's going to be the end of the world for him. If you can sit Foden, if you can sit Mahrez, you can sit Gundogan, right? Because I don't even think he started every game.
Yeah.
Then you can sit Havertz, right? You can. So for me, it's not. I just think we need to be. You want to be careful with it, because you want to get that player on your side. But I think he has to know he's not going to play every game.
Here's the key, right? You want to be successful like a Man City, or that sort of style. You've got to stop thinking of first 11s now. Them days are gone. You've got to think of a squad of players.
Yep.
Even though there's somebody sat on the bench, they're not sat on the bench because they're lacking. They're sat on the bench because we can only field 11. It's as simple as that. We can only choose 11. You're all good enough to be playing, but out of the group of 25, I have to pick 11. That's how we need to think of our team now, not as a first 11. Yeah, okay, there's maybe 3 or 4 that you can say need to start if they're fit, need to start. But we need to think of that. We have a squad now.
Yep.
Exactly.
So that's what Man City do, isn't it? They ain't got a first 11, and then, a couple of deadbeats. They can just come in and warm a place for a substitution. They can come off the bench or come into the next game like Amara, score a hat-trick and return to the bench. Literally return to the bench after a hat-trick from the right wing. I mean, that's where we are.
You're just looking at the stats, and all of our attacking players have at least one goal or assist that have played more than 1 minute, except for one player. And so that's why it's disappointing. Is like, I thought it would be easy for him to contribute because we are such a good team. We do control the ball, and he'll be in more situations where he's going to be able to put a nice ball in or take a good shot, right?
And I think he would have had more appearance. We had a couple of games in it where we had to bring on defenders and stuff, which we probably wouldn't have done. Do you remember? And I think that calmed an appearance by Trossard because we weren't comfortable in the game.
Definitely,
where we could bring that player on. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. No, I think when we got the red card for Tomiyasu, that was a game that definitely
we probably would have seen him maybe at some point.
Yeah.
No, as we say,
like I said, I want him to do well, but I don't want him to. I don't want to. I don't. We did the William experiment. We know that doesn't work. We know it doesn't work. So like, it's not going to work just putting them out there every day. So
He's a
we
big
should.
game player as well, isn't he? I'd love to see him against Spurs. He's a big
So
game
for
player.
me,
He
if that's
likes
the
that,
case, then
doesn't he?
he should sit out the next game then, because then he'll play the Bournemouth game and then he'll play the game, the North
Trossard, I'm
London
talking
derby.
about.
Okay, if you're gonna go
Trossard.
that route, I'll take that. I'll be happy for that. I just don't see it. But like we're saying that, I'll take that. That means that
Not Havertz.
maybe
I'm talking about Trossard for Tottenham.
No, I would like to see that. I would like to see Trossard get like minutes, and maybe that means Martinelli sits, because that's the only way I see him. You see it happening. I don't see him pulling Havertz out, like you said. It'd be nice to pull Havertz out and let Trossard get in there and get some minutes, and you've got Vieira to come on no matter what if you're going to use him that way. I don't like that. I want Vieira to get like a start as well. He's playing well enough to get starts. He didn't come from a league where he wasn't starting, so I don't want to like not give him starts because you're just so good off the bench. We need to have players, as you say, that are part of a rotation that all
Would you
start for us.
We have
do you have
players? I was just going to say we've got 3 players in our squad who, when the player talks about where they like to play, their favourite position is as a second striker. That's Trossard, Odegaard, and Havertz. And I think that's what you're going to be seeing at times. It almost looks like you've got 2 up front, or a player ahead of Jesus. And you see it with Man City, don't you? You see Kevin De Bruyne at times being much further up the pitch than Haaland is, because he comes in sometimes as a second striker. Another thing about what I mentioned about having to drop the idea of having a first 11. I think we also have to start getting used to the idea that a player is no longer wedded to a position. Like when you play FIFA and it has RW next to the player. Oh, he's a right winger. We play him in the right wing. This guy's a left back. He plays in the left back. I think players are now expected to play more than one position in the game, on the pitch. Defenders having to come into the midfield. Midfielders who you would maybe on paper they look like they're the attacking midfielder, at times playing as a striker, being ahead of your number 9. The winger on the left hand side changing with the striker, and now he's going through the middle, and the guy that goes through the middle is on the left hand side. And I think we have to get used to that. The game is changing in a way where we have a squad of players, and it's about fluidity and not being wedded to a position. Which is weird, right?
Yep.
You look at a player like Thomas Partey, he's doing 2 jobs at times.
Yeah. Too much. Yeah. No, I think oh man. No. I think I would like, I'm looking at like Alvarez and Hartland, with like 10 goal contributions so far. And as you said, that's supposed to be Havertz and whoever plays up top. And the only person who hasn't, like Nketiah scores, Jesus has scored now. Havertz not so much, right? So and that's like whatever 3 goal contributions for our combo that plays in that kind of a similar role right behind behind the striker kind of thing. Big difference, right? And I would, like you said, I would like to see maybe Trossard in that position to see what he could do. Vieira on the wing is doing well, so I feel like we're wasting opportunities and then assume he's gonna be set in his ways and we're gonna like not get to see Emile Smith-Rowe and Nelson and Vieira get enough minutes when we start playing these 2 and 3 games a week kind of a thing. And they need the minutes. They need those minutes, and they're not getting them right now, right? Nelson and Emile Smith-Rowe are not
quite getting
for
there.
England, right? So
Yeah.
I think that Vieira,
Do we feel?
Yeah.
Don Juan said I'd rather start slow and peak in March, April. Last year we started fast and ran out of steam. Do we feel like we can become better and stronger? Can we perfect this by the end of the year?
I think we could have.
The season?
We could have won the one game we drew, and we didn't have to start fast to do that.
Yeah.
That's what I feel in that game.
But can
So
we start winning game after game after game?
where we are right now, yeah, because we're not even playing well, and I expect us to continue to improve each
Okay.
time we step on the pitch. Right?
Do you put our performance against Man United then, was that more on us, Gary?
Yeah,
Even though
every
we
game,
did win.
every game we've played down. We
Okay.
play down to the
Yeah.
competition. We're much better than all of that. And as you say, that's partly because we're starting slow, and we're partly because we're doing something new. So it's the players are still having to figure out a way, but we're able to come out of it, right?
Yeah.
Because we have
Yeah.
a stronger team than we did last season. If we came out last season the way we're playing now, with the bench and the way we could utilize it, we may have lost that. We would have lost probably that Nottingham Forest game, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Even I think even Crystal Palace had an opportunity, and the way that United was playing, they could have stole it from us as well. We struggled, but I think we're a lot better team. So our levels have gone up, right? So even though we're not playing up to where we need to be, it's still better than we were last season. But as a team, we don't look so well. But I believe we'll continue to get better, and we don't necessarily need a peak right now, but we definitely. You don't need a peak right now, but I think you have answers
Need
on
be
the bench to
Yeah.
if something's not working, you can change it, and we need to do that a little bit more.
You know the way they say really, really good teams can win games without playing well? Are we in that mode right now where we're winning games without playing well?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep.
Why
Because we shouldn't be. We should have been leading by 1 or 2 goals going into each half, and we haven't done that. Like, have we been leading at half in a game? I,
Nottingham Forest 2-1 up, 2-0
we,
up at halftime. Nottingham Forest, yeah.
I didn't think we did that.
The
Okay.
Palace game, we got a penalty in minutes into the second half. The Fulham game, we were behind at halftime, and against United, we were 1-1 going in at halftime. The value of Erdegaard again, scoring from distance, becoming a bit of a trademark finish from him, and he cannot be left unmarked at the edge of the box. Maybe we're talking about a talisman here, Gary. I know we've been dancing around this Kevin De Bruyne, Erdegaard comparison. Is Erdegaard becoming a little bit of a talisman? Small signs. Come on. You
No,
can
he's
agree
not
with
there
that.
yet because I can't believe that he's the one player that doesn't have an assist.
No, I don't think he has an assist.
So for me, I don't know like how do we compare him
We
to Kevin
want
De Bruyne
we
when
wanted him to
he's
score
he's
goals.
supposed to. No. That's definitely not what we wanted.
Yeah, we
We
did. We
wanted him.
asked for Erdegaard to score more goals
You
last
just
season.
okay. Last season, when I brought that up, people said he just scored 15 as a
Yeah,
midfielder, which is the more than De Bruyne and more than any other midfielder has ever. So
yeah.
now you're saying you want him to do more, and I'm saying no. I
Hard
believe and
saying.
I thought that
15
what he
again.
contributes to this team is that he is a creator for this
No, it
team.
doesn't matter what you do.
No.
Goals are assists.
I believe I thought he's supposed to be a creator for this team. I know you're
Yeah, but
saying no, he doesn't
that's
have
for
to.
Eddie and Gabriel Jesus ahead of him. Do you think he's going to create for them, and they're going to put those chances away,
But they
or
haven't.
would you
He's not.
feel more
I don't even know if
comfortable?
he's creating. Is he creating for them? I don't even know if
Look,
he's creating for them.
here's the
Right?
thing we discovered with Kevin De Bruyne and Erdegaard. They had the same goal and assists involvements. They were exactly the same. They were just a mirror image of each other. So De Bruyne was having a lot of assists for Haaland. Erdegaard was scoring a lot of goals. But they had the same amount of goals and assists for the whole season of last season. If you compare, you should go look at Kevin De Bruyne and go look at Erdegaard. Their goals and assists combined are exactly the same. They're just mirror images of each
15
other.
and 9 or something like that.
Yeah.
Odegaard, 15 goals. How many assists?
I think it was 15, 7, something like that.
And De Bruyne
You
had
look
7
at Kevin De
15.
Bruyne, he scored 7 and provided 15. So similar stats.
For me, it has to be the other way around if Nketiah is going to be more of our starter. Because if not, then why is he on the pitch? And if he's like when Nketiah plays most of the games to start the season, I expect Erdegaard to have more assists because that's what Nketiah is for me. That's what his currency. That's how I
Yeah.
know whether he's doing a good job. And if he's got Erdegaard behind him, I would expect those opportunities
Well,
to be
you're
pretty high. And he's not creating those opportunities for him. I mean, we saw what the one is that we saw Martinelli give him an assist for a goal, right? And so for me,
Well,
I
You're
15 is a
expecting-
lot, and you're saying we need to score more, which means he's going to break a
similar.
record or whatever.
Similar.
No, but if 15 was it was a record, right?
15 is good.
So
but what?
if you're saying he needs to score more, then that means he's going to break that record, right?
16.
Well, what if Martin
Whatever.
Odegaard
But I
scored the
expect I
same
would like
amount
to
now?
see double digits from him in assists.
Yeah.
Like if Trossard and Saka can get double digits, and Odegaard is our better player, I would expect him to be able to get 10 as well.
Well,
Yeah,
Erdegaard
but
had
hold on.
20.
What if Martin Odegaard is scoring his 15 goals, yeah, and you're saying that he only got 7 assists? What happens when you get a striker, maybe different to Eddie and different to Gabriel, who puts more of the chances away? All because you got 7 assists, it didn't mean that he only created 7. It meant that maybe the people ahead of him weren't finishing. And we know that Eddie has missed a lot of chances. And we know that Gabriel has missed a lot of chances. So if you can keep him playing like that, and you now have someone that's not missing those chances, now you've got a whole different ball game.
The assist only registers if
I'm
the
just saying,
striker
Erdegaard
scores.
right now
Exactly.
is the worst. He's the worst of our attackers in terms of expected assisted goals, right?
Yeah.
So I don't believe he's that bad of a player, and so for me, I'm like, what's going on? Because I believe he's. I don't know what is he? What is his role on this squad? You're saying it's to score goals. I'm like, oh, okay, so he's a scoring midfielder. So what is he supposed to be? Is he not a creator?
He's an attacking midfielder.
He's an attacking midfielder, and so how do you quantify the attack, whether it's working or not? By
15 goals and 7 assists is pretty darn good, I'd say. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying. I think for him to have
the
shown
Bergkamp
that
role, isn't it?
he's worked into that position, I would expect him to be able to get 10 assists easy with the team that we have. That's what I would expect from him.
But
we've seen our strikers have plenty of chances.
Those
he's not even creating those chances. So to say that right now is not.
I would love to go back last season and see how many chances he put through. You know, all the chances that Jesus and Nketiah missed, and see how many of those were provided by Odegaard. I bet there's a few.
I'll look at his stats from last season and we'll see what he did expected wise. All right.
We know he missed a few good chances as well. I remember the one up at Aston Villa I mentioned earlier.
Well, because 15 goals isn't enough, right?
I want more.
Of course, but he got 15 goals. That's a record.
I would take the same again, Stan. 15 from Erdegaard.
Show me another midfielder that's scoring 15 goals. Show me one midfielder that scores 15 goals in the league.
No, because nobody does it. That's why. So
gold dust.
Nobody does that. No, but I mean, I'm looking at it. He had 7 assists, and his expected assisted goals was 8. So I mean,
that's good.
Yeah,
that's good, expected, probably based on the quality of chances. That
you're gonna just keep moving the goalposts until it makes your.
Hey, well, you do it. I can do it.
I'm giving you a stat that tells you that he's not going as good as I thought he could, and you're telling me no, it's something else. It's something else.
It's off by 1.
I believe he is a 10-goal assist player for a big team like Arsenal, and he's not there yet. So I think he's got room to improve there more than he does scoring close to 20 goals.
I see people saying the same thing about Ozil, that Giroud wasn't putting enough of the chances away, that Ozil was creating a lot of goals, but they weren't being finished efficiently. And I would say that Martin Odegaard is magnificent scoring 15 goals. He just broke a record.
I suppose we have to recognize
no one else is even close to that as from his position on the field. And I guarantee you, right, 7 assists. If we had better finishers, it would have been double figures. It would have been 10. At least 10, I would say, to be
And I
generous.
suppose we have to.
It's
We
only
have to
4
recognize.
goals. It's only 4 more goals.
We have to recognize as well.
If Saka would be one of the players on that would be helping Erdegaard, but he had 11 assists. So for me, I'm like, if Saka can get 11, then I think Erdegaard can get 10. And we're playing. He's not playing with a different player next to him. It's not a different striker next to him that he's putting the ball across.
You would be,
you know what I mean?
You'd be expecting a lot of switches of plays then, because Saka and Erdegaard basically work off of that right-sided pod, pretty much.
And they've been a man down on that right-hand side.
So he should be able to get a similar number as Saka then. Is what you're saying.
I would say some of Erdegaard's goals came from Saka assisting him.
And also Ben White, because that right-hand side works as a trio with Ben White, Saka and Odegaard. They operate that side. And because we've had Partey in there, Partey has not been doing the overlapping and helping out so that we have 3 against a man over. We've been a man under. You're
going to blame Partey for playing out of position?
Yeah.
And that's contributing to
the goals not being scored. I'm just saying that.
No, but when I say that about Trossard, people want to know why he's struggling. Well, he's played out of position. That's why he's struggling. That's why the attack is struggling when Partey is playing as a right back.
Are we convinced?
That's not what he does.
Gary, are we convinced about where Trossard's best position is? We're not quite sure, right?
Everybody, I mean, I think
he himself says he can play in a variety of positions.
Yeah,
right, left, right. I think he's even played as a fullback or wing back at not many times, false 9. But he says that he likes to play as a second striker. So anywhere across the front, really.
So he does like to be there.
He can play anywhere across the front, but he prefers a second striker role.
Yeah. Right. So when you play him as a striker, you're playing him in his least favorite position,
on the left wing. So coming off the left, I think
when because if you remember the run where he had all those assists, he played like 3 or 4 games with Jesus. I think because Martinelli was injured.
He played Martinelli was through the middle. He played on the left. Martinelli played through the middle against Fulham.
I'm saying I think Martinelli got injured and he was out, and that's when he played with Jesus.
Yeah.
Right, and so he played out in the wing. So I think we should be able to rotate our wings easily. Like right now, Saka doesn't look 100% ready to go. It'd be nice, he can take. Huh?
Why do you say that? I don't understand people saying that.
That's what I
standard expect from him.
I think he's at a different level than what
he's 4 games in this season. Why do people saying he looks tired all the time? Because he didn't score every game. He's a young guy, right? That's just one player of the year.
I'm telling you what I see in the game.
And the last game, he had a key pass and got an assist. I mean, okay, he didn't score that goal, but it wasn't like he didn't score that goal and did nothing else. He got an assist and a key pass. Yeah.
Stan, I have a question for you. Yeah. When you were in school, did you have a friend who the teacher would say, I expect better from you, Martin?
The teacher said it to me.
Stanley, I expect better from you.
Depending on the lesson, obviously.
No, see, you can't. No, there's no relative.
Some lessons I weren't interested in. I hated
when
maths.
you were being bad, the teacher was like, I expect better from you, Stan, because you're supposed to set an example. You're the standard bearer for the classroom.
No, my reports usually say something like, has a lot of aptitude, but spends too much time making stupid, silly noises.
Yeah,
can do better.
This guy's yapping in the corner, and I'm trying to teach these kids about ABCs.
So, I think what I'm saying is we expect better from Bukayo Saka because he is one of our world-class players.
He set a standard, and we'd like to see it a lot more. That's all. Yeah. He should he be missing that sitter that he missed? No, we don't. And as you said, it's early in the season, so he's not tired. So there's something else going on there. Maybe he's just
what's going on there. He's got an assist and a key pass.
Maybe he's just not in form.
2 goals. Yeah. 2 goals out of 4. It's not bad. No. And look, I think we're in a situation where the whole team. Remember, I said we're going to go through preseason and not be 100%. I don't think we're 100% yet, even. We're not firing on all cylinders yet. And part of that is due to the lineups that Mikel Arteta is picking as well. You know what I mean? But we did grind out a great win over Manchester United. Declan Rice had his moment. Martin Odegaard dragged us back into the game.
May I say as well, and a lot of people have criticised Martinelli this season because he hasn't scored as many goals as we think. But you have to remember that when you play in a team game as strategic as Mikel Arteta sets people up of where they've got to be and this, that, and the other, it's about partnerships. Zinchenko's been out. So that's the guy that's behind Martinelli. He's lost a partnership with the fullback that knows how to go in front of his place. They know when to. They both know when to give and go. To keep it simple, right? He's lost another partnership just to the right of him was Granit Xhaka. He obviously had a relationship with the guy playing just to his right. That guy's not there anymore. He's got a new guy now that he has to try and understand. So that's two of his partnerships have gone. Right? He hasn't got a person behind him or a guy next to him. To make it even worse, the guy in front of him, who he does a lot of interchanging with, as in Jesus, when they rotate sometimes through the middle and the left, he ain't there either. The guy has lost all of his kind of partnerships, and he's kind of like improvising with new band members who haven't learnt the song yet. Do you know what I mean?
So tell me this.
Kind of
so tell me this. Did they not practice this before the game? Because we already knew going in, like Arteta, I assume already knew.
Yeah, of course you can practice.
Yeah, no. But what I'm saying is,
opposition
you build those relationships up in practice. It's not like none of these players he hasn't played with in the last season or not. No, but all the players you're talking about are players he played with in the last season.
Hold on a minute. During pre-season, right? He's never played with Timber before. He's hardly really played with Kivior before.
Did it look bad with Timber out there once again?
He hasn't played with Havertz before. He hasn't played with Rice before. So
what does Rice have to do with Martinelli?
Well, he's kind of on the left side.
He kind of comes into that left side
accent on the left side
when they move forward. So that's another area. It's another partnership because he hasn't had Partey on the right hand side, as I've already explained. The partnerships there have gone. Because now they've got Partey, who's not making that third person sometimes on the right. You see them passing the ball between Saka, Odegaard, and Ben White. And Ben White does an overlap sometimes and puts a cross in. Partey ain't got the legs to do that. So the partnerships have all kind of.
You're blaming this on Arteta for not really.
No, I think it's been happenstance. The greatest ability Martinelli has had.
How do you fix that then? Are you just going to do nothing?
How do you do
Something
that?
has to be chosen. The manager has to come up with a plan with the players that he has. You can't just blame. Can't just say, you know what, we're just going to have to settle with what we got. You're not going to do
those
that.
Players, and then the relationships will build and blossom. Because you can't put Granit Xhaka back in there. He ain't here.
He's looked the best. Stan, he looked the best last season with Granit Xhaka and Zinchenko.
Because they had an understanding. He's had to start again.
Yeah, I know.
The guy behind him, the guy next to him, the guy in front of him. I mean, I hear
what you're saying, but then when he goes and plays for England, I don't see that. So then it's not really just because, guess what? They haven't practiced. They don't. He practices more with these players than he does with the English players, right?
Talking about Martinelli.
Talking about Martinelli?
Yeah.
Oh.
I like him to play for England. I like watching.
I think Martinelli has suffered. Yeah.
You know what? But I mean, I hear what you're saying, but once again, I feel like when Martinelli makes that run, Nketiah has to be there, and he's not. And I think that's, for me, I always feel like Nketiah is always a step behind, and I don't understand why.
Well, he
should be as soon as that pass is made to Martinelli, he's got to be down there. That's his job, is to be there, because guess what? He wants to put that cross in because he doesn't want to shoot. He wants to put that cross in, but there's nobody there most of the time. So he has to pull up, slow down, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, come on, that's why Nketiah, I think he should have more goals, because he should be in those situations ready to go. And you see that from Jesus. And it's like, I believe Nketiah in those situations, that's all he has to do. He doesn't even have to come back and support the build-up. I've seen Jesus support the build-up, turn, and get up their pitch. Nketiah doesn't even have to do that, and he's still not up there. And I'm like, what's going on? You need to be there.
Jesus is coming back and may bring the best out of Martinelli. That partnership could be revived.
for me, you're saying we're saying then Nketiah. What is Nketiah
Partnerships.
good for then? Why is he there? He's not a good partnership for anybody.
Well, listen. So far, Nketiah's got 2 goals from 4
Nketiah's
games.
not bringing out the best of Martinelli. All right, that's what we're saying. Because you just said Jesus does it, so Nketiah doesn't. So then he's not a good He's not a good partner for Martinelli. He's not really helping.
Well, he scored 2 goals
Sancho
in
You
2
either.
can
games.
see the connection's not there between Martinelli and Nketiah.
It's not as good. It's not as good.
They're Brazilian.
It's not as fluid,
They're
is it?
Brazilian teammates.
No, I get all of that, but I'm just saying that they
There's no
have to.
samba.
They've been playing with Eddie all year last year, so it's not like we've never played with this guy, so now we can't play anymore.
Eddie's more of a finisher, Gary. Gabriel Jesus.
That's why I'm upset with Eddie because he's never there to finish.
Yeah,
I know, but
right? He's never there to finish.
Gabriel can't make Eddie move into the places that he wants him to be in. Do you know what I'm getting at? It's only so much he can do. He has to play around him and cope with it, which is why Eddie doesn't start every game when Gabriel Jesus is fit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get that. I just like I said, the only currency I want from Nketiah is goals. Right, and he's had more than enough opportunities to have more than 2 goals he had. Right, so and one of those goals he scored was from somebody coming off the bench. So I'm saying he needs to have more than 1 goal from the starters that he's played with. Right, he started all 4 games, I think. Right,
Eddie. Yeah,
he started all 4 games.
He came on at halftime against Fulham.
Oh, that's right. Trossard started that time.
Yeah.
But he has. I think he's got more goals in him, and I think the problem is he's just not there sometimes.
Yeah, I think we can round up a little bit here. I think Stan wanted to talk about the Ballon d'Or nominations. Gary, if you got anything else to bring to the table, definitely we can have a little discussion on that. But I think it's been a good chat so far tonight, and. Stan, Ballon d'Or, who's been nominated? It's
well, it's a long list, isn't it? There's a lot of people that you get on the list.
I don't know. I don't know very much about it, so.
It's a long list. It's not like it's 10 people. It's fucking quite long. Do you know what I mean? But it's nice to see that we've got a couple of Arsenal players that have been included. I mean, obviously they're probably not going to win, and I think there's other candidates that may win. But it's nice to have the. It's nice to have the acknowledgement, you know, and who knows, maybe one of them can sneak a 3rd place. And again, I think that's a big testament to those figures that Martin Odegaard got for the position that he plays and the numbers that he put up. I think that's good recognition. And obviously, you know, Saka, he's just won the player of the season, been voted by his peers, which is quite an achievement to get that 2 years on the bounce.
Yeah,
you know, he's beating out people like. Was it young player or full player of the year that he got voted, or did he get both?
He got young player of the year. Yeah,
because Harlan got player of the year.
Okay, that's okay. Well,
he's Harlan could have won both, I think, right?
I'm so annoyed by that, Gary. I'm so annoyed by that.
He's still beating out a lot of candidates there. You know, for example, you could throw a Phil Foden in there. You know, for young talent, as one I just picked out of the bag. So it's good recognition. You know, but the list is long and the positions are very varied. There's some players in there you're like, I'm not even who's that guy? I don't even know that guy. You know,
it is a bit of a Hollywood thing. BX is saying here. Messi's got 2 or 3 ballons he didn't deserve. It's become watered down already. I don't think Messi's even on the list. I'm doing a little bit of checking here. There's no Messi on the list.
He'd be on the list. You know, he just won the World Cup.
Won the World Cup. You know what I mean?
I'm sure he must be on the list.
I don't think he's on the list. So
we sound like Chris Jericho.
And look, I can't deny what Erling Haaland has done in the game. I can't deny all the goals he's scored. I just don't think he's a very good technical footballer.
Who's that? Sorry,
Haaland.
You don't think
he's not a very good.
You've not seen some of the goals he scored from some of the ridiculous angles and stuff. For somebody so
I mean, for a player
that's technique. That's technique.
For a player that tall and to get in those positions that he does, I mean, he scored 30 goals in a season. I think it's a feat. Not everybody does it. So
What was
Yeah.
it? 52
Sorry.
goals in 53 games.
Yeah,
All
I mean, you
competitions.
cannot
Jesus
deny
wept. Jesus
that
wept.
record,
I mean,
that scoring record. You better recognize Kevin De Bruyne for giving him a lot
Yeah,
of
but no,
his.
but I mean, everybody says the hardest thing to do is score a goal. The man scores goal. Oh, but he doesn't score the right ones, so he has to shoot from outside all the time from like distance for it to. No, if you can tap in 100
You
times in a
having a go at
season,
me, Gary?
guess what? Guess what? I'm gonna take that as a Ballon d'Or winner. 'Cause that means you're in position to
I
score 100
feel
goals.
slighted there with you.
They're all
by that
headers. I don't care. I don't care if they're all headers. They're goals.
I'm a
right?
highbrow football fan.
Haaland's
Yeah.
sort of like that. If he works for you, right, and he keeps coming back from lunch really late, you just say nothing because you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's bringing
And
in
all
the
he's gonna
sale.
do is smile at you, and you're gonna go. He's gonna, he's a stone cold killer, man. A man that will smile at you and then knock you over and boot the ball.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a bad man. So
It is a little bit Hollywood. I don't think it's going to be announced till the 30th of October. So we have 6
Is
weeks.
Messi really not on there? I thought that'd be the perfect fairy tale.
I'm seeing that he's not on the
not on.
list.
I think some
Really?
people were concerned that he would be on
Yeah.
there because they if he was on the list, can't see him not getting it because it'd be the last time he had an opportunity to win it.
Is Ronaldo on there?
Yes.
No. Oh, he is.
Really?
I've seen
Ronaldo?
it from.
I don't see it on this
Fabrizio.
list. It's not on
Fabrizio.
this list here. Like the Ballon d'Or site, it's not on there. It's not. You said Ronaldo?
So who do you think's
No,
going to
he's
win
not
it
on
then?
here.
Where's the question? Who
Let
do you
me
think
see.
wins it?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
He's playing as
Why
Neymar.
can't I read?
Maybe
Did-
these. Maybe not.
I don't see him on this list unless I'm
Okay.
not. I don't understand how to read
I would trust
letters.
I would
I'm
trust.
looking at the post from the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Do you know who I think's going to win it?
whatever.
I think Haaland, isn't it? He's won the treble.
Messi is on the list, so don't listen.
Messi is on. Okay, if Messi's on the list, I think he gets
Ronaldo's
it.
not.
As
He's gotta get it, right?
A nice little
Yeah,
bow.
yeah.
It's a story, isn't it? Like you say, it's a Hollywood story. It'd be good for when they make the film of it. If it's not Messi, then it's got to be Haaland, surely. For what he's achieved.
Lolo, Ten Hag would bench Haaland. It's very true. It's very possible.
You know what? He just can't find a fit for him. You know, it just doesn't work. And it's a tactical decision to keep him out of the game because guess what? He's always in the box, always
just
looking to
want the right
score.
attitude.
And you know that's just not the way we play. Now, if you look at this thing, right?
Hanging out with
You've got Julian Alvarez in the list, Kevin De Bruyne, Ruben Diaz. Okay, Elke Gundogan was on there. Guardiola is on there. Erling Haaland. I mean, just you put on that light blue shirt, you get an opportunity to be in this list, right?
It's out of two, I think.
Rodri is on there. Bernardo Silva. That's
Kyle
like
Walker.
Six players from there. Is Kyle Walker on there?
I'm just joking.
No. It's like I didn't see his name. No, but you've got six players from that. You got six players from City's team on the list. No, he didn't have enough money. He didn't have enough money.
He buys his way into everything.
Yeah. I'd Bowley be like.
Jeez, I was like, what is that?
Like, let me get in there. Let me in there.
Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is in, right?
City's got six players on this list. I mean, come on.
Jack Grealish is in because he wears pants 2 sizes too small for him.
He definitely buys his shorts a size too small. Come on, he does.
I don't even know how you know that.
It. My missus pointed it out.
Well, did you look? But did you look?
I've put it this
you
way.
didn't say no.
What I'm saying is, after her observation, and I buy my boxer shorts a size
when he squares up the defender,
it's working for me.
You can't miss those calves, Gary. When he squares up the defender.
It's not my calves. It's not my calves that I'm thinking of enlarging. To be fair, so.
All right, who's good for 5 more minutes, and then we'll go. Right?
Yeah, whenever you're ready, dude.
Champions League, Gary. What's going to happen with we're coming back, Everton, PSV.
Yeah, we have.
How does the players deal with this Champions League thing? Is it going to upset us?
As you said, it's a European group, so we should play just like we did last time. We're playing at home against PSV. We should just win like we did last time.
Looking forward to PSV.
I think we're better. We're going to be a better. I don't know if they're going to be a better team than what we saw last season, right? Because Gatpo is gone, right? So I think
Yeah.
we should be a better team than them, being that we just added Rice to our squad, and our players are getting better. So we should be able to win that. We should be able to win out until
Didn't they win the
until we
Dutch
get to
League
the
last
City game.
season? PSV. Did PSV win the Dutch League last season? Was it PSV?
You know, they
Not
had
sure
to
about that.
qualify though, so I don't think they won the Dutch league. Ajax.
Was it? They must have won the
Probably
season
Ajax.
before then. They've won it recently.
Mm,
You know, they're a
I'm
good
gonna
team.
check that for you, Stan.
They're not bad.
yeah, no, we
Big
should
following.
we
Big,
should be
big,
winning
big
our
following.
games.
Very noisy following, and they will bring a
Yeah.
lot of over. I used to live in Amsterdam, and when I used to come into Amsterdam for the Ajax games and that, oof, Jesus, loads of old Bill everywhere, mate. Do you know what I mean? Noise.
Feyenoord beat PSV to the
Yeah, they're the three big ones.
Feyenoord
Ajax,
won.
Feyenoord, and PSV.
PSV are a tough draw. I think they're in good form. They may actually be better than Sevilla. They may give us
Did we get Van Persie from PSV?
yeah, we did.
PSV,
No,
was it
he was
Feyenoord?
Feyenoord. He was Feyenoord. Yeah.
And it wasn't Ajax. We got Overmars from Ajax, isn't it? Mark
Odegaard
Overmars.
from Ajax.
Mark Overmars.
Yeah.
Overmars from Ajax. Yeah, definitely.
What a player.
Yeah.
What a player.
Yeah, so look,
what
it's something-
a player. Come on, you can't mention
Yeah.
Mark Overmars. That geezer. Hey?
He-
$6 million man.
He had a
$6 million
dodgy
man.
knee. Arsene Wenger, nobody else wanted to touch him because he had a dodgy knee.
I think we could have got another season or two out of him, because after we sold him, I was living in Spain, and I went to a couple of Malaga games. I lived in that area, and I saw Malaga, Barcelona, and he was still like, you know what I mean, straight, direct, fast.
Pace to burn. Is it next Saturday at Goodison? Yes, not this coming Saturday, the following Saturday, Goodison Park. And I'm hoping West Ham do something against Man City at the London Stadium, I think they call it. But listen, we should sign out here. We started the podcast with Stan in brilliant daylight. Now it's darkness around him. So it's getting dark in Vancouver these days, Stan.
Yeah, the Coyotes are coming out.
You talk about the the men, but also in the women's side, you've got, I think it's 2 or 3 players from Arsenal on there. You got Jill Roy,
Katie
Ward,
Katie
Ward is
McCabe.
there. Katie McCabe, is she there?
Yeah, first Irish
Right.
woman.
Katie McCabe is there. You've got Amanda Yellestad there, who just joined. So, and maybe Mary Earps will join as well, because I think they're looking for a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So I think Arsenal's they're putting their name out there for sure. So
All right.
the women's team looks really good.
I think we'll leave it there. Gary, thanks for joining. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, Stan and Ray, and everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining us as well.
It's international football. We will not be doing a show on Sunday, but next Thursday we'll be back. Okay. I didn't even know if we were going to do a show tonight, but thanks to Stan and Gary for turning up. Alonzo, where are you? Tony, where are you?
I don't know, but
Stan.
wherever Martin Truex Jr. is, Alonso isn't far behind.
It's likely to be, yes. All right. I hope everybody has a great few days off. Take the interlull, do things with the family, because, football is religion outside of that. You know what I mean? So take that time, do things. We're out of here.
Football is the best of the least important things. If that makes any sense.
Who said that, Stan?
Can't
You
remember. Someone else did. Someone else did. I can't remember who it was.
It was Ten Hag.
Maybe.
It was Ten Hag.
It was Stone Cold Ten Hag.
All right. We're out of here. Take care. See you on the next one. Tony's eating roadkill.